Satan's claws, the birth of Nimrod, and not the son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. Hebrew Israelites. Kwam Yashala. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom!
Shalom to everybody online. Welcome to another live class. We're here located at 8524 South Bracewell Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77071. Our class times are every Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m., Friday from 6 to 9 p.m., Saturday Shabbat service from 10 to 2. If you're local, please feel free to join us. If you're in the San Antonio area, we have a school at 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas, 78217. If you like class times, please feel free to contact us and we'll get you those class times and days. We have a school in Albuquerque, New Mexico at 7710 Menial Boulevard, Suite F, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 78217. Oh, no, that's 87110. All right. For class times and days, please, again, contact us, and we'll get you that information. We also have our newest school in Virginia, out there in Norfolk. It's at 2610 Granby Street, Norfolk, Virginia, 23517. Class times are every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, from 7 to 10 p.m. Yeah, from 7 to 10 p.m. If you're in the area, they got Chesapeake Bay, they got Newport News, Virginia Beach, Richmond. If you're in those areas, feel free to come through for class. All right, the building is open.
Birthday Howard.
Barakatah Yahweh, with much help from the people. Let's see here. Upcoming feasts. We have the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets, September the 9th, September the 27th. All right, so that's a Friday. So be aware of that feast that's coming up. We have our ISBHPK Kids channel. You can watch previously recorded classes for the kids, or they can show up on the Shabbat at 2 p.m. for a kids class. We don't record the new kids classes, okay? You can also watch our Hidden Truth cable show every Saturday at 8 o'clock on Comcast Local Channel 17, or you can stream it on hmstv.org. Also, the Blog Talk Radio, Mashaba does that from the school in Albuquerque every Tuesday and Thursday at 9:30. blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, MASHAHBA, every Tuesday and Thursday starting at around 9:30. Israelware is back accepting orders, so you can visit Facebook, type in everything Israelware. For the brothers that are here, the sisters are doing a unity garment. All right, so the 31st of this month is the last time to get the money in.
That's the deadline to get the money.
Right, the deadline to get the money in is 8/31. Okay, it's black, gold. You get a tunic. It's a black and gold tunic and girdle. Nice. Brothers need tunics. Brothers need girdle. So black and gold. You know you can mix and match it now with all the other black and gold we got. So black and gold tunic and girdle. All right. Anybody else that wants to be a part of that, just get the money in. How much is it?
It's $80.
$80. Tunic and girdle.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so that's not too bad. And you can mix and match that with other garments. To reach a preacher, you can reach Priest Kazakia. He's at 281-707-2737 out there in Virginia. Text only during class. You can contact me at 303-557-8979. And you can email us at isbhbk@isbhbk.org for any other questions or concerns. Any donations that you want to give? Anyone that vowed to give the vow? Remember we talked about vows this Sabbath? Scriptures say when you vow a vow, defer not to pay. That's what the Bible said, not me. So, yeah, get that in as soon as you can. That way we can get the rent taken care of for the month, get the internet bill taken care of, the lights. We know y'all are helping us out, so we appreciate the help. Get that in as soon as you can, the water. Any other donations, any school supplies or books or pens that you want to give to any one of the schools, you can mail them to any one of those 4 addresses, okay? And any monetary donations, they can go to the Google Wallet, or they can go to the Wells Fargo account directly. She'll put that information up. That'll be up there, Con. I'm on that. Lord's willing for me and my sons. Right, yeah, Mustafa. Yeah, if you want to get your unity garment up, you already know what to do. You already know what to do. That's going to be it for the announcements. It's 7:18. I lost 10 minutes. I want to get into this class. I'm going to go directly into it. If y'all got questions, just hold them. We're going to go directly into La Clase. And you know, the title of the class online, The Vanity of Life. I wanted to name it something else, but why life is vanity. Yeah, why life is, you can put change it to why life is vain. My bad. Why life is vain. Yeah.
Oh, not why life is vanity.
Yeah, just put why life is vain with a big exclamation. Because it is vain. And what we're going to do, we're going to go through the scriptures, and you know, there's a lot of things that we do in this life, right? There's a lot of things that we want in this life. We want the money, we want the women. And is there anything wrong with it?
Love.
Nothing wrong with it, right?
All lawful.
Yeah, it's all lawful to have money. It's all lawful to have women. It's lawful. Think about it. Think about how much we do work-wise. And I'm not talking about Esau's work, but even that, vain, right? But now think about all the work we do towards the Most High. Is that vain?
Why?
Well, let's see. Let's see, because there's reasons why things can become vain.
Come.
Now, think about man. Just think about man without wisdom. He's trash, ain't he?
Come.
I mean, weren't we trash? Without wisdom. And even with righteousness, the Most High said our righteousness is like what?
Filthy rags.
Like filthy rags. So there is a level of vanity that's already there that no matter what we do, we can't change that. But there is an end goal, and there is something that the Most High is looking for from us. So, first scripture. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 2. Somebody else get Psalms 144 and verse 4. I'm going to call 2 scriptures at a time because it's a lot. If you pop up with these 2 scriptures, be ready to read. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 2. Psalms 144 and verse 4. I'm going to actually call one more. Job 8 and 9. If you don't get it online, it's fine. The brother that's reading will repeat it. Okay, the scriptures will be repeated. I'm doing this because there is a lot of scriptures here, and I want to be able to get through all of it without brothers fumbling around. Ecclesiastes 1:2, read.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 2.
Right?
Vanity of vanity.
Come on.
Said the preacher.
Read.
Vanity of vanity.
Right. Go ahead.
All is vanity.
All is vanity. Now we know this is Solomon, right? He's given, you know, when you read through this Ecclesiastes, and I read through it a lot, I've listened to it a lot, just trying to get into the mind of Solomon, and it's like, what is he talking about? Vanity of vanity, all is vanities. And it's almost like he was doing a social experiment on himself, and going through and and saying, look, let me try this, let me deal with this, let me give myself to this. But he came to a conclusion. And he came to the conclusion early on. This is verse 2 in the first chapter. He said what?
All is vanity.
He said all is vanity. Now, let's deal with man. Go to go to Psalms 144 and verse 4. Let's deal with man and just man on a whole. Wisdom or no wisdom, what does the Most High say about man? Read.
Psalm 144 verse 4.
Read.
Man is like to vanity.
Man is like to what?
To vanity.
Somebody get the definition of vanity. He said man is like to vanity. Because no matter what it is that we do, no matter how much effort we do put in, you can put in 110%. The scriptures say what? We can never surpass what the Most High wants, right? We can never exceed. Now, does that mean that we don't put in work?
La.
Does that mean that we don't try?
La.
Because the pessimistic mind will say, well, why am I going to try? If it's all vanity, if it's all vain, then what's the point?
Why do anything?
Why do anything? Why wake up? Why wake up? Like, think about it. Solomon said all is vanity. So it's like, what's the point of waking up then? Why try? Well, because that was the point. The point was to try. Go ahead, read it one more time. Psalms 144.
Man is like to vanity.
Right?
His days are as a shadow.
His days are as a what?
As a shadow.
Right, because, and we'll see as we go on, man, you can do immaculate things on this earth. You can do immaculate things in wisdom, or you can do immaculate things in wickedness. And what will happen? You can be blotted out. Those things somebody else can take credit, right? Somebody else can take credit for those things, and then where do you stand? Think about how many things the black man has invented. And who takes the credit?
Esau,
right? Somebody else, another man, right? Didn't the black man not invent the light bulb?
God.
But they gave that to Thomas Edison, right? Yeah. The telephone wasn't that a black man? The whole switchboard system? But they give that to Thomas Edison, right? So, man is like a shadow, because what does a shadow do? You need perfect lighting for a shadow to even appear.
God.
But a shadow just disappears. 1 minute it's there, the next minute it's gone. You can't catch a shadow, right?
God.
And a shadow is just a semblance or a resemblance of something. It's not the thing. Read on.
As a shadow that passeth away.
Right, who got the definition of vanity?
Come.
And what scripture you got next? Job 8 and 9?
Come.
Go ahead. So what you got for vanity? Let's look up what vanity says.
Vanity. Emptiness.
It's what?
Emptiness.
Right. So the Most High said that man is like emptiness. Man is like emptiness. Now he's not giving the distinction between what type of men. He's just saying man on a general sense of the word, on a general level, because we are. Because we operate, at the end of the day, we operate off of base instinct. Eat, sleep, reproduce. Right? And then you have the ones that, okay, let me operate more spiritually, where eating, sleeping, and reproducing don't come first. But on base instinct, base level, eat, sleep, sex. And then whatever else we do that we think is gonna give us a name, which we're gonna see those things are vain. What else you got for vanity?
Want of substance to satisfy desire.
Want of substance to satisfy a desire. What else?
Fruitless.
He said what?
Fruitless.
Go ahead.
Endeavor. Trifling labor that produce no good.
Wow. Trifling labor that produces no good. Go ahead.
Empty pleasure.
So he said man is like vanity. He's like an empty pleasure. Well, ain't that what we really go for a lot of the times? Is empty pleasure?
God.
A lot of people don't think so, but it is empty pleasure. Think about it. Think about after you laugh and cry and do all these different things. I don't want to jump. I don't want to jump. What else you got?
Arrogance.
Arrogance. What else?
Inflation of mind
Inflation of mind. Uh-huh.
upon slight grounds.
Right?
Empty pride.
Empty pride. She has here excessive pride or admiration of one's own appearance, vanity, the quality of being worthless. So the Most High is like, man is worthless. Because one minute you hear it, the next minute you're gone. But what makes a man not vanity? We'll find out. From there, go to Job. What did I call?
8 and 9.
Go ahead, read Job 8 and 9. Somebody else, Ecclesiasticus 6 and 12. Job 8 and 9.
Job chapter 8 verse 9. For we are but of yesterday.
Yeah, so what is yesterday considered?
In the past.
Yeah.
The past is a memory.
Come on.
He said, but we are but of yesterday. We are memories, man. Go ahead.
And know nothing.
And what?
Know nothing.
Go ahead.
Because our days upon earth are a shadow.
You see that? We don't really know the things that we ought to know. Because in our short little time span, think about it, we spend half our time chasing emptiness. We spend half our time chasing women, chasing wine, partying, trying to kick it. And then at 30, 40 years old, you find the truth, and then you die at 70. So half your life was filled with emptiness. But that's why he said you were but yesterday. Because all those empty things you did, that we did, do they got any substance? Can you go back onto those things and say, damn, let me use that for a teaching moment or for a lesson?
Some of it, yes.
Some of it, yeah, of not what to do or of what not to do.
Come on.
Right? So there are lessons, but think about how much of that stuff you didn't have to do and you could have still learned. Right? Because now you're filled with regret and scars. So you don't have to go through negative to learn. All you got to do is look around you. So a lot of that stuff wasn't needed, but that's why that's what makes man vain. It's thinking that I got to touch negative to feel positive. I got to touch the bad to feel the good. No, you don't.
I go to the dark to get
I got to go through the dark to get to. No, you don't. That's Adam and Eve thinking. That's Eve thinking. Oh yeah, let me know how to be a god. Well, you were already a god just by knowing good. You don't have to touch the bad. The bad, it leaves that stain, man. It leaves that hurt. Go ahead. Ecclesiasticus 6 and verse 12.
Ecclesiastes or
Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 12.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 12.
Uh-huh.
For who knoweth what is good for man in his life?
And this is what makes man vain. Because who really knows what's good for man in his life? One man will tell you that alcohol is good. Another man will tell you having a bunch of women is good. Another man will tell you, oh, just go work a job, that's good. Oh, just have a bunch of kids, that's good. Right? There's many different people that say different things for what is good for a man's life. But who really knows? Go ahead.
All the days of his life, which he spendeth as a shadow.
As a what?
As a shadow.
Yeah. What's good for a shadow? Who really knows, man, what is good for man? Well, that's why the scriptures say, hardly do we guess aright at the things that are up on earth and why we're filled with so much heaviness. I'll get it real quick. It's in Wisdom of Solomon 3. Right? Wisdom of Solomon, not 3. It's Wisdom of Solomon. Yeah. No, Wisdom of Solomon 9. It's Wisdom of Solomon 9. It said, for the thoughts of mortal man are miserable. But why? Because we're steady trying to guess, man, what's good for my life? What do I need for this situation? What do I need for that situation? Oh, you know what? Let me give myself to wine. Oh, no, let me give myself to women. Oh, no, let me give myself to joy. Oh, no, let me just go to work. But see, we don't know what's good for us. That's what makes man vain. Because the things that we try to use to fix problems and put ourselves at ease, the Most High is like, nah, wrong. Wrong. All it's going to do is going to be good for the moment. It's a Band-Aid.
Come.
So all these things we give ourselves to, as we're going to explore in this class, man, we're going to see that a lot of the things we give ourselves to, even at the right time. Like it says, wine is good when wine measurably drunk and in season is perfect, right?
Come.
But even that's vanity. What does it fix? Nothing. Right? What does it fit? You get you a nice woman. She's good at this. It tells you in Ecclesiastes, he said, live joyfully with the woman of your youth all your days. Right? Didn't Solomon say that? But even that's vanity. Because what does it fix? What does it change? You good for that moment. You see that? Go ahead, finish it up.
Where we at?
Ecclesiastes. Tell them where you at.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 12.
Somebody else get Psalms 39 and verse 5.
Last precept.
Read it from the top.
Come. For who knoweth what is good for man in this life?
Right.
All the days of his vain life, which he spendeth as a shadow.
Yeah, it's a question. It's like, man, who knows what's good for man? Go ahead.
For who can tell a man what shall be after him under the sun?
Right. No one can. No one can tell a man what's going to be after him. The only one that can is the Most High. Go from there. Go to Psalms 39 and verse 5.
Psalms 39 verse 5.
Uh-huh.
Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth.
Yeah, he said, you have made my days like a handbreadth. You know what that is? You know what that's saying? You made my days short. The Most High made our days short. The handbreadth is the width of the hand. Yeah. He said he made the days short. Go ahead.
And mine age is as nothing before thee.
Yeah, and the age, it don't matter how old you are, that's nothing to the Most High. Because some men say, well, I'm old, I'm gray, so that's worth something, right? They look at that in life like, man, I'm old and gray, I've been around. I've been here for ages. I got some experience, but to the Most High, that's nothing, man. It's nothing if your experiences aren't rooted in some sort of wisdom. It's nothing if your experiences can't teach nobody else. Read it from the top. Somebody else get Psalm 62 and verse 9.
Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth.
Right?
Breadth. And mine age is as nothing before thee.
Read.
Verily, every man at his best state.
He said at your best state, you're what?
Is altogether vanity.
Yeah, he said at your best state, at your best health, at your best spiritual stature. He said that's still vanity. Check that out, man. Go to Psalm 62 and verse 9.
Psalms chapter 62, verse 9.
Go ahead.
Surely men of low degree are vanity.
He said surely men of low degree are vanity. Go ahead.
And men of high degree are a lie.
Man, check this out. He's showing you that it doesn't matter what position you propel yourself to. Doesn't matter how low on the totem pole or how high. He's boxing us all in the same category. As vain, as vanity, as nothing. Damn near as worthless. Go ahead.
To be laid in the balance.
To be what?
Laid in the balance.
Yeah, because when it's all said and done, when everything balances out, it doesn't matter how much work you did. Doesn't matter how much riches you got, women, this, that, and the third. We all get the same estate of life. We all got the same thing to expect, which is what? What is it?
Death.
It's death. It's death at the end of the day. Somebody else get Wisdom of Solomon 13 and verse 1. Read on.
Set your Salakia. They are altogether lighter than vanity.
Yeah, man, check that out. He said we're lighter than vanity. No matter what stature you are. Now, again, is that the Most High saying, listen, don't attain to nothing?
Wow.
Don't try to get leadership positions. Don't try to go from the low man on the totem pole to the high man? Of course not. But what he's saying is don't let these positions supersede what the goal is. Because some men will do what? Oh yeah, I'm an officer of a bazillion. 13 shield general to the third power. Bow to me. Why? Bow to you why? It's vanity. Remember, the greater you are, the more you humble yourself. So it's not about the position, but it's about the humility level of the position. So you see how Solomon is laying on, it is not just Solomon, you see how the scriptures it basically takes all these things that men look at, position, age, power, and say, listen, none of that is worth anything if you don't use it right. Because what is age if you can't articulate experience to the next man? Your age is nothing. My grandpa's 101 years old, man. But what wisdom can he give me according to the Bible for his 101 years old on this earth? None. None. So his age is nothing. It's vanity. It's nothingness. What's that?
A question on that last precept where it says, they are all together lighter than vanity. So is it saying like, if it was a scale, your position, would vanity be heavier?
What he's saying is, if you look at the word vanity, it's of no value.
Right.
So you're less than no value. Now think about it.
Yeah.
Let it marinate. That's heavy. That's heavy because, and just think about this. Our righteousness is like filthy rags to the Most High. So if our righteousness is like filthy, bloody rags to the Most High, think about not having righteousness and how he looks at you. He already said we're vain by nature. Oh, watch. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. And this is why. This is why. This is going to clear it up for you. Wisdom of Solomon 3:13 and verse 1. Put
Wisdom of Solomon.
Shabbat.
Chapter 13, verse 1.
I call all the holy angels into the building with that frankincense and myrrh. They're all here. Michael, Raphael, Uriel, they're all here. Read.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1.
Read.
Surely vain are all men by nature.
See, because by nature we're vain. Why? Why did he have to come back and point out, okay, man is vain, man is a shadow, man is this? Well, because by nature we look at the vain things and we chase vain things. By nature we're base. We're base creatures, man. Again, food, sleep, and sex. By nature. Read it from the top.
Surely vain are all men by nature.
Go ahead.
Who are ignorant of the Most High.
Who are what?
Ignorant of the Most High.
Right. See, it's the ignorance of the Most High that puts us in vanity. Where now my age means something, my stature means something, or my lack of stature. Because you got those people like, oh man, I'm at the lowest part of the stature. You got to look out for me more. Right? But he's putting everything into perspective that it doesn't matter if you're high or low, broke or rich, old or young. It's all vain. It's all vanity. Go ahead.
And could not out of the good things.
It cannot what?
Out of the good things.
Read.
That are seen, know him that is.
And that's the problem with man. Out of all the good that the Most High has given us, what do we always neglect to do?
Give thanks.
Give thanks. Give reverence. Acknowledge the Most High. All the good, man. All the air that you're breathing, all the blinking that you're doing, all the blood that you're pumping. And we forget to wake up and give thanks to the Most High that he woke us up. That he put that spark to get those eyes and heart moving. That he puts that spark in your chest every time it beats to pump that blood. We forget. Out of all the blessings that, all the vehicles and all the houses and clothes and just random things that pop into our hand, we forget, man, the Most High did it. Because what do we rely on? We rely on our stature, ourselves. We rely on other people. And we're looking at these things like these things are the ones that are doing for us. We look at all the things around us like that's what's propelling us through this life. Like, man, if it wasn't for that Sam Smith CD, I don't know how I would have got to that breakup. Man, if it wasn't for that R. Kelly, man, I would have never got through that breakup. And how, man, if it wasn't for man, I was hitting the bottle heavy at that time, man. If it wasn't for that Hen Rock, man, that Hen Rock got me through that, man. That's my drink. That Hennessy got me through it. Man, if it wasn't for the homeboy, man, man, if it wasn't for the homeboys, man, I wouldn't have got through that. Right? Ain't that how we would think in the world? Looking at other vain things like that's what got us through a breakup. That's what's got us through our sorrows. That's what's got us through our pain. That's what got us through the good times, the bad. The homeboys, liquor, women. Man, if she didn't come along and save my life, nigga, who sent her? Who sent her to save your life? Who sent her to be the peace and the comfort? See, that's what we neglect. Read it one more time.
Come on, from the top.
From the top, get Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 11.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1.
Come on.
Surely vain are all men by nature.
Yeah, because naturally we want to rely on vain things. Go ahead.
Who are ignorant of the Most High.
Read.
And could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is.
And you know what's sad? If we don't see the Most High out of the good things, where do we always see the Most High?
Out of the bad.
It's always out of the bad. Like, damn, the Most High had to check you for you to know that he was real. He had to hit you with diverse plagues and diseases. He had to hit you with a car accident. He had to strip you. That's where the vanity comes in. Because it's like, damn, you a vain person to have to go through a negative. Again, I got to touch negative to see good. Nah, man. You should be able to recognize good when it's, but see, what do they say? You wouldn't recognize good if it slapped you in the face. You wouldn't recognize a good woman or a good this, or you wouldn't recognize the Most High if he did smack you in that car accident, because what are we looking at? Man ain't looking at the Most High, man.
He's looking at the carnal.
Man is always on the carnal. And again, you know, this class is based off of Solomon and this notion of Solomon was the wisest man, right? Did he have all the wisdom?
Carnal.
Lie. He didn't have all the wisdom, but he had enough of it.
Carnal.
He couldn't attain, like the spirit, the man's spirit can't have all the wisdom in it.
Carnal.
You'll bust. And he'll tell you that in this, but we're going to go there. He had a lot more wisdom than everybody before him and after. Riches, the same. What else could a man want? Think about if he was the most wisest, richest man on this earth. Think about it. What else is there?
Nothing on earth.
There's things you can get into.
I mean, if you have it all, if it's all accessible to you,
right?
There's nothing else on earth that you could want, possibly.
Right. Well, he had everything on earth.
Right.
He had everything on earth accessible to him.
Right.
If he didn't have it, he got it. If he wanted it, they brought it. Right? Now, I'm not going to jump. Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 11. Read.
You don't.
Oh, no. Finish that up.
Neither by considering the works,
right,
did they acknowledge the workmaster.
Again, neither by considering the works that are around us on a day-to-day do we consider the workmaster. We just think like, oh, we just appeared here. Oh, the birds just do what they do because that's how they're programmed. No, the workmaster did that. But that's what makes us vain, where instead of looking at the good works, it's like, it always got to be the negative where we, damn, the Most High, man. Like you get shot, like you got these black women, their kids get shot in the street. Oh God, you want to call on God then. But guess what he's looking? Man, you vain. Them vain cries, I'm not hearing it. You should have cried on me or cried to me when I was giving you all this good. But you looked at yourself like, yeah, I did that. I woke myself up. I worked OT. That was me. I provided for my house, right? I'm Santa Claus. I'm mama. I'm daddy.
Yeah.
Ain't that what the black woman be on?
Yeah.
I'm mom. I'm dad. I'm Santa Claus. I'm the Easter Bunny. I'm the Tooth Fairy. You all that, huh? But where's the Most High at in that equation? Again, that's putting that spark in your chest. They say every time your heart beats, it's an electrical pulse that propels your heart to beat. Who's putting that spark in your chest? See, we don't acknowledge that. You don't acknowledge the good that you're here, the fact that you're here as a sensible man, woman, or child to do good work. We don't acknowledge that. But as soon as you get whooped, it's like, Dad, gotta get in line with the Father. He's like, man, that's vanity. It's vain. Because as soon as the whooping goes away, what happens?
Right back to the vain.
Right back to the vanity. So this is why man is vain, because we're ignorant of the Most High. Go ahead. Wisdom, Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 11. If I'm going too fast, let me know.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 11.
Go ahead.
seeing there be many things that increase vanity.
He said what?
Seeing there be many things that increase vanity.
And this is why man is vain, because what? We always look for the things that increase vanity. Go ahead.
What is man the better?
Yeah, what are we the better if we're chasing those vain things? Now, what are the things that Solomon was talking about that increase vanity? So let's deal with it. So that was my little intro. Let's deal with it. Let's deal with the vanity of women. Let's deal with why women are vain. We already dealt with why man is vain as a whole. But now let's deal with women. Now this ain't no woman's class. All right, this ain't a woman's class, so nobody take offense. Nobody get upset. But let's just see what Solomon was talking about when it came to women. Now, Solomon had how many wives?
1,000.
Keep that in mind.
300.
300 wives, 700 concubines. Right? But the point is he had 1,000 women at his disposal at any time. That bowed to him, that gave him what they wanted, gave him what he wanted. Right? Any man would be like, damn, 1,000? Woo! Woo! Got me 1,000. Got 999 problems, right?
God.
But you got 1,000 women that are bowing to him. What problem are they?
A lot. Every one of them was a problem.
No, think about it. They're bowing to him. These are his women. He got them in control. What problem are they?
No.
Probably.
I said.
Well, okay, what you say?
I said that was all a problem.
They're all a problem. Why?
I mean, because you have each woman has different personality. You got to deal with each one.
But he had the wisdom to do that. He had the wisdom to do that. So where's the problem?
You know what? Them not being of all the nation. Like them being.
Well, right, because that's what made him fall off.
Yeah.
Right. Right. I'm gonna show y'all something else.
The problem is he got 1,000 people to answer to. And he got to take all that up to the Most High.
Right.
And it's like the scripture says, how does it go? But like the people always wanted, they always wanted someone to intervene for them instead of just going straight to the Most High. So like in the case of Moses, they always wanted somebody to hold over them. So if you got 1,000 people bowing to you,
right?
You know that's.
So you say because of their problems?
Con.
But Solomon had the wisdom to deal with that. Remember.
Yeah.
Remember one thing about Solomon. Solomon ruled the world. The Bible it tells you in Wisdom of Solomon 8. He used wisdom to control everything around him, not just Israel. Every nation was at peace. So he ruled the world, Craig, not just the parking lot, the world. So think about that. His wisdom was so great that he had the world paying tribute to him. If you wanted a peacock, I'm going to bring you a peacock. You want to train the camels with gold? Sheba, she brought a train of camels. You want this type of wood to build a temple? Well, it's not in Jerusalem, but guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to find somebody to bring that wood.
But if he had all the wisdom in the world, how could he not foresee?
No, I didn't say he had all the wisdom in the world. He had the wisdom to control the world. Because he did. He didn't have all the wisdom.
Okay.
We got to be clear. Solomon didn't possess all the wisdom from A to Z. He was the wisest man to walk. But, come on, who had all the wisdom? Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai, because he didn't fall to anything.
So if he
No, go ahead.
If he was the wisest man
to walk the earth.
Walk.
That doesn't mean he couldn't fall.
I'm not saying that.
Right.
Then how could he not foresee that these women were going to turn him astray?
That's a beautiful question. He knew it, but he probably think that he wasn't going to fall to that. Because there's no difference there's a difference in knowing and thinking that you ain't going to fall.
True.
Right? Like Kazak would tell me all the time, Satan gonna hit. Satan gonna hit. And I'm like, Khan, I know. Yeah. But where?
And it's still
where? Like the Bible told Solomon, the wisdom told Solomon, don't mess with the women because this is what they're gonna happen. Solomon had Deuteronomy. Solomon had that. He knew that he wasn't supposed to do that, but maybe in his mind, I'm speaking as if it's not scriptural, but maybe in his mind he figured, no, I got enough to not fall to that. I got enough wisdom to not fall to these women. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point because, yeah, he was able to foretell the future, but not to that extent. Remember, he got old when these women overtook him. He was older. He wasn't that young, vigorous, nah, get in order, I don't need you, get the hell up out of here. Yo, he wasn't on that. He got a lot older, and then he took advantage of his age. Mm-hmm. You had your hand? They had a question, or you had a question?
No, it was me.
Okay.
Had a question. I can't remember what it was.
No, you're good. If you get it, it's all good.
Little commentary.
What's up?
I like how you broke that down because that's the thing. It's like, sometimes we feel like we're floating in the spirit, and it's like, oh yeah, Satan. If Satan's gonna hit, you're like, oh, I can handle it. But then it's like you don't know which angle is gonna hit, and then when he does hit, it's like it still hurts. It's
yeah.
Like we're not. We're
all susceptible to that hit. And is it possible to girt yourself all the way? Of course. But there's going to be a little breach where Satan has to be able to get in. Why? He has to be able to try you. Not jumping, I don't want to go on a whole different subject, but he has to be able to try you. Just like Job. You think Job wasn't guarded? But that guard had to be lifted off Job so he could be tried. Solomon got tried and he fell. That doesn't take away from the fact that he was the wisest man to walk. Besides Christ. Besides Christ, Yahushua was the wisest. Let's not get it twisted. Yahushua's wisdom surpassed. Remember, he said he was with wisdom in the beginning. He was with wisdom when it laid the foundations. All right, so we can't get that twisted that Yahushua wasn't the ultimate wise man. Okay? He knew what to say, when to say it. He can read your thoughts, read your past, future, present, tell you who you were just by looking at you, just by feeling your spirit. Read Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 11. Let's jump back.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 11.
Right.
Seeing there be many things that increase vanity.
Right.
What is man the better?
Right. What is man the better? Because we chase those things that increase vanity. Hit this fan. You got to go from the back. We chase the things that increase vanity. So let's deal with the first sub point of vanity. Women. The vanity of women. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 26. Why did Solomon say this? Remember, he had 1,000 women. Read that. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 26.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 26.
And get Ecclesiasticus 36 and 21. Go ahead.
And I find more bitter than death the woman.
The what?
The woman.
Yeah, he said the woman is more bitter than death. Go ahead.
Whose heart is snares and nets.
Because naturally, a woman that's untaught, this is what she's about. She's about snaring a man, wrapping him around her little finger and getting what she wants. Until what? She dries him up, kicks him to the curb. Think about a man when he gets left by his woman. You've been in there for 15, 16, 18 years with your woman. And she just decided all of a sudden, snapping the finger, oh, I'm not down for you no more. What does that do to a man?
Oh, yeah. Brings him to a piece of bread.
It brings him to a vain nothing. A vain nothingness.
Values a piece of bread.
Watch, go ahead, read on.
And her hands as bands.
Read.
Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her.
Right, because there is an escape. There is an escape. Remember, it says a wicked woman is given to the portion of a wicked man. Go ahead, read on.
But the sinner shall be taken by her.
Verse 27.
Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher.
Come on.
Counting one by one.
Right.
To find out the account.
Read, verse 28.
Which yet my soul seeketh.
Read.
But I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found.
One righteous man among 1,000 have I found. One righteous man of 1,000 have I found that's going to stick in there. That's going to be for his brother. Remember the relationship between David and Jonathan?
Con.
It said it surpassed the love of women.
Con.
Jonathan and David. Solomon said one man was going to be like that with you. Check this out, read.
But a woman,
right,
among all those have I not found.
But he said a woman among 1,000 I have not found. How could he say that? Well, first of all, he had 1,000 women to experiment on. Now, what was he saying about those 1,000 women?
That's what I want to know.
What was he saying? I want y'all to think. It ain't that deep, but it is. It ain't that deep, but it is. You know what he was saying about those 1,000 women? Go to Ecclesiastes 36 and verse 21.
Ecclesiastes 36 verse 21.
Read.
A woman will receive every man.
A woman will what?
Receive every man.
What he was saying was this, that at the drop of a dime, he could go from 1,000 to 0. Because why? Because why?
Because a woman would.
Because a woman will do what? Oh, right now you got it. Tomorrow you don't, so I'm gone. He said he found one man that would stick in there with him. But he found out of 1,000 women, 0. Because the woman will switch up on you. One minute you balling, damn homie, in high school you was the man homie. Right? Everybody want to be with you, all them chicks want to flock. Remember Fast and the Furious? Part 1 with Ja Rule? And Monica came up and she was like, this is all yours, baby, if you win. Right? And she's like, you can have her too. That nigga lost. He was like, Monica, baby. She was like, nigga, you ain't win. And walked off. I was like, damn, you done said it. She said, win or lose, this is all yours. And she was showing off her body. And she's like, yeah, you could have her too. So Monica was a Spanish chick. It was a black girl that she pointed to, like, yeah, you can have both of us. Win or lose. The nigga got beat. Remember he was in the car, Monica, no! You gotta watch Fast and the Furious. But he lost the race, hops out the car, runs up to Monica. Monica, baby, baby. She was like, nigga, get up off me. You ain't win. Look how quick she switched up. Woo! Look how quick she switched up. Right? Because that's what they do. 1 minute they in there, the next minute, because every woman will take every man. Read that one more time.
A woman will receive every man.
Go to Ecclesiastes 26 and verse 11. Read on.
Yet is one daughter better than another.
Yeah, a woman will receive. Think about it. One woman will receive every man. Meaning she'll get the nigga highest on the totem pole to the scumbag, low down, dirty dog. Think about it. Think about a woman where she's like, man, I had a good man. But then she done dealt with a bunch of dirtbag Crips, dirtbag gangsters, right? She had the baby by the dirtbag, but cussed out the good man, let him go, and the dirtbag left too. Women will go through the whole, from one end to the other of men, because a woman will receive every man. Because why? It's about what you got at the time. Ecclesiastes 26 and verse 11.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 11.
Read.
Watch over an impudent eye.
Read on.
And marvel not.
Watch over an impudent eye, a disrespectful, shameless woman. He said, watch over that. Watch over a woman that ain't got no respect for you. Read.
And marvel not if she trespass against thee.
Now think about this. Solomon had 1,000 women. You think he wasn't ready for his women to step out on him? Think about it. You think he was above his woman or his women trespassing on him?
Law.
Listen, in my belief, I think some of them probably did. I think some of them probably did step out on him and snuck around, was getting knocked off by the butler, the bellboy, the handmaid. I wouldn't put it past them. But that's why it says it. Read it one more time.
Watch over an impudent eye.
Right.
And marvel not if she trespass against thee.
Read on.
She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler.
Right.
When he has found a fountain.
Right. This is a woman that has no respect for her man. She'll be in every nigga's face. You ever see a thirsty traveler at a fountain? Mouth open wide. Now this, the Most High is speaking real eloquent here. He's speaking real eloquent, but he's saying, man, she'll top off any man. that comes her way. She'll drink from any fountain. She'll take any wisdom. She'll take any wisdom that suits her at the time. Go ahead.
And drink of every water near her.
You see that? She'll drink of every water near her. The scriptures say, drink waters out of thine own cistern, so your fountain will be blessed. But a woman that has no respect, that's impudent, come on, man, should be in everybody's ear. Should be ear hustling every conversation, up on every man, because a woman will take every man. Go ahead. And Solomon knew this. Solomon knew this, man. That's why he said, man, there's nothing worse than a woman. The bitterness, it's worse than death. Remember, he had 1,000 women to deal with. He knew how they was dealing. You think they was all just locked in? Oh, Solomon, baby. Hell nah, man. Some of them was mad as hell, jealous, prideful. Why? Looking at the other woman, he might have dealt with one more than the other. They getting jealous. Vanity, man. But that's why we ain't supposed to be so engrafted into what the woman wants. Go ahead.
By every head.
By what?
By every head.
Read.
Will she sit down?
Yeah, see, this is the Most High talking eloquent. She'll jump beef to beef, man. She'll jump beef to beef. She'll top off some dude and then come kiss you in the mouth. Oh, come on.
Know.
And you won't even know it. You were all in the same instance. And you won't even know it. Vanity. Read.
And open her quiver.
And open her what?
Her quiver.
Here goes the Most High speaking very eloquently again. Open her quiver. Go ahead.
Against every arrow.
Against some arrows.
Every arrow.
No, she got some discretion.
Every arrow.
Yeah, man. She'll deal with every man. You see this? That's why you can't put your strength all the way into these women. Because why? At the drop of a dime, she'll be like, nigga, I'm switching up. Next. Where we at? Go to 1 Esdras 4:26. Ecclesiasticus 19 and verse 2.
1 Esdras chapter 4 and verse 26.
Read.
Yea, yea, many there be that have run out their wits for women.
Read it again.
Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
And even this is vain. Many men have run out of their wits for women. But is that woman running out of her wits for you? Hell nah. No. Go ahead.
And become servants.
Right.
For their sake.
Right. Servants for their sake, but forsaking the Most High. Surely are men vain by nature and are ignorant of the Most High. You see why women are vain? Because you'll be a servant to her, but forsake and be ignorant of the Most High. Go ahead.
Many also have perished.
Right.
And have erred.
Read.
And sinned for women.
Right. Go to Ecclesiasticus 19 and verse 2. And then Isaiah 28 and 7. So read on. So we're dealing with the vanity of women. Read.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 verse 2.
Read.
Wine and women
Read.
will make men of understanding to fall away.
Right. So the next vain thing on the list is wine. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away. Now, why would wine be a vain thing? Why would Solomon say, man, wine is vanity? Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Don't the scriptures say, give wine to a man that's ready to die? Don't the scriptures say, drink no more water, but have a little wine for thy stomach's sake? Right? For your infirmities? Right? So wait, so wine is nothing all of a sudden? Well, let's see why he said it was nothing. Read.
And he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent.
Right, go to Proverbs 20 and verse 1.
Do you want that Isaiah?
Hold that Isaiah. That was Proverbs 20 and 1, and then Isaiah is going to be next.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 1.
Read.
Wine is a mocker.
See, this is why wine was vain. It's a mocker. It's a mocker. Go ahead.
Strong drink is raging.
Read.
And whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise.
Y'all see this? Wine is a mocker and strong drink is raging. Now, is that Does that hold true for everyone?
Lie.
That doesn't hold true for everyone, right? Isaiah 28 and verse 7. Now we're just getting the characteristics of wine and drink. What it does to man. Read.
Isaiah 28 verse 7. But they also have erred through wine.
Read.
And through strong drink are out of the way.
Come on.
The priests.
The who?
The priests.
Read.
And the prophet have erred through strong drink.
Men of stature have erred through strong drink. Remember, he said it don't matter if you high on a totem pole. If you high, you're vain. If you're low, you're vain. Go ahead.
They are swallowed up of wine.
Of wine, read.
They are out of the way through strong drink.
Go ahead.
They err in vision.
What does wine make you do?
Err in vision.
Read.
They stumble in judgment.
Proverbs 31 and verse 4. Ecclesiastes 2 and 3.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 4. It is not for kings,
Lemuel.
Salakia. Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine.
Right. Lemuel, another name for Solomon. So Solomon's mama is telling him, it's not for kings to drink wine. A lot of people use this scripture totally wrong. They use this scripture totally wrong because David drank. Yahushua drank. All the kings drank. But what was it saying? Read on.
Nor for princes strong drink.
Read.
Lest I drink and forget the law.
Lest you do what?
Drink and forget the law.
Read.
And pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted.
Read.
Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish.
So how could wine be vain? He said, give strong drink to them that's ready to die. Well, I'm going to show you how wine is vain and why it's nothing. There was one thing about Solomon when it came to this wine, because he drank, right? Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 3. And this is the problem why wine causes bad judgment, why men go out of the way for wine, because there's something that they're missing when they do give themselves to the drink. Read.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 3.
Read.
I sought in my heart
Read.
to give myself unto wine.
Wait, he did what?
I sought in my heart to give myself unto wine.
This is King Solomon. He said he gave himself to wine. Meaning what? What does that mean? I gave myself to wine.
He overindulged in it.
He indulged.
He let himself get
He
drunk.
let himself get in.
Come.
He let himself get faded. But check this out. Read.
Yet I acquainted my heart with wisdom.
Wait, he did what?
Acquainted my heart with wisdom.
See, this is where a lot of brothers mess up. You forget to keep wisdom with you while you do drink. He said he gave himself to wine, but equated himself with wisdom. So did he really just become a drunken son of a gun? He just turned into Stone Cold Steve Austin, just Steve Weisers every minute? He just turned into the bum on the corner, just staggering? No, because the wisdom was what? It is not for kings, O Lemuel, to drink strong drink, lest they forget the law. He remembered that. Now think about the dilemma when you're trying to give yourself to one thing and you got wisdom that intervenes. Think about it. You're trying to give yourself to wine and wisdom is like, no, you can't get drunk. You got to be a judge. Can you really enjoy wine?
Wow.
Hell nah. It becomes a thing where it's like, damn, I don't even like drinking no more. Wine is whack. Man, drinking is garbage. You know how many times I felt like that? Me and Kazaki talk about it all the time, man. Be like, man, we can't even enjoy sleep. We can't enjoy women. We can't enjoy drinking. The only thing we enjoy, I ain't gonna say it, but there's only one joy in this life. Because no matter how much you do the wine and the strong drink, you like, man, the wisdom in you, it even blocks the notion of being drunk. Yeah, it blocks the notion that you're even faded. Think about it. Didn't Yahushua give himself to wine?
Done.
Was he drunk?
Lie.
He couldn't have been, right? He'd been breaking all the scriptures. Woe to them that rise up early to seek strong drink, right? He would have broke all the scriptures, because then how could he teach drunk? It says, rebuke not a man at the wine, right? How could he teach drunk? But he was mocked because of the level. But the wisdom in him was like, wait a minute, you can't even get drunk, bro. You got too much to do. You got too much to watch for. So now liquor becomes this thing where you look at the bottle, you're like, man, this is God. I don't even need that. Man, bro, it's pointless. It's pointless. He said, he said, in my heart, I'm going to get faded tonight, bro. I'm going in. But wisdom was like, nope. No, sir. You're going to drink too and not even feel it. You're going to get a slight buzz.
God. It's like the wisdom just sobers him up.
Yeah, because, we're going to get there. We're going to get there because it does. Mm-hmm. Wisdom is the light and it overtakes all vain things. But check this out. Even wisdom is vain. Even wisdom is vanity. Read on.
And to lay hold on folly.
And to do what?
Lay hold on folly.
So he wanted to give himself to wine to lay hold on folly, but how can you be a fool and be wise? How can you be the wisest man on earth but be a fool? It don't work, right? Read.
Till I might see what was good, till I might see
right
what was that good for the sons of men.
Because Solomon was trying to test out, wait a minute, is it wine that's good for man? Is it giving yourself to wine that's going to fix all and make a man happy and joyful? Well, if you got wisdom, you know, hell nah. You're going to get 2 sips, and then all of a sudden a thought's going to pop in your head, and you're going to be like, damn, I got to go study. Right?
Done.
Or I got to go handle this. I can't get too faded. I got this to take care of. Or I'm building a kingdom, and everybody's looking for me for instruction. Mm-hmm. So what I look like being tossed up in the bedchamber, just faded, just gone off the wine. Where's Solomon at? We need instruction. See, Solomon understood what it was about. He couldn't give himself to wine the way the way a vain man gives himself to wine, a way a man with no wisdom gives himself to wine. So to a wise man, wine is vain because it doesn't accomplish any purpose. No matter if you drink in moderation or not, it doesn't accomplish a purpose because there's too much in your head going on a different side of the pendulum to say, you know what, let me let wine take over. So there is a vanity in wine. Go ahead.
Which they should do under the heavens.
Right.
All the days of their life.
Ephesians 5:18. 1 Ezra 3:18. Ephesians 5:18.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 18.
1 Ezra 3:18. Go ahead.
Be not drunk with wine.
He said what?
Be not drunk with wine.
Go ahead.
Wherein is excess.
Wherein is excess. Why? Read.
But be filled with the Spirit.
And if you're filled with the Spirit, you can't be drunk with wine. Because the Spirit says that's a no-no. You can't be occupied with 2 spirits, man. So wine becomes this thing where after a while it's not even necessary. You'll go months. You'll go you'll go in between feast days not drinking. And then you'll even come to some feast and be like, nah, I ain't drinking. Because what's the point? I'm not going to be able to enjoy it. I can't make myself into a fool to enjoy wine because only fools enjoy wine, truthfully. Let's be real. Only a foolish man lets himself slip into the mocker and the raging of wine. A wise man can't really enjoy wine, man. A wise man can't enjoy wine. Because that joy don't last. Watch, read. Please, 1 Ezra 3:18.
1 Ezra 3:18.
Read.
And he said thus, O ye men, how exceeding strong is wine.
Right.
It causeth all men to err.
It does what?
Causeth all men to air.
Read on.
That drinketh.
Read verse 19.
It maketh the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one.
You see that? It says the mind of the king and a child become one. A child with no instruction. You think the same. Now, when have we ever read about Solomon getting so faded that he just lost his scruples? We've heard about other kings.
Done.
He just lost his scruples because he was drunk. Read on.
Of the bondman and of the free man.
Right, it puts everybody at the same state. Remember, it said man is vain, doesn't matter what stature you're at, high or low. It said a man of high degree is vanity. No, it said a man of low degree is vanity and a man of high degree is a lie. He's nothing. He's untrue. So just like wine, it makes all men the same. It's a vain thing that turns a bondman and a free man into the same mind. A king and a child into the same mind. So how profitable is wine really? How profitable is wine without wisdom? Read.
Of the poor man and of the rich.
You see that? You get faded and you just throw all your money into out in the street. Think about how many rappers do that. They get drunk as hell in the club and start throwing their money that they broke.
Yeah, even I think 50 Cent, he was like giving his Ferrari a champagne bath.
Yeah, come on.
Like
a champagne bath.
With champagne, yeah.
Retard. Retarded. Read on. Check this out.
Verse 20. It turneth also every thought into jollity.
Yeah, because that's what wine does. It said wine was made to make the man's heart merry. It turns every thought into jolty and happiness. Right? It's like you just drinking eggnog all the time. Deck the halls and you just happy. But that's what wine does to a man that ain't got no wisdom in him. Every thought turns into joy. Every? Nah. Read.
And mirth.
And what?
And mirth.
Read on.
So that a man remembereth neither sorrow nor death.
Right. Myrrh, joy, happiness. Which leads us to our next vanity. The vanity of joy and mirth. The vanity of being happy all the time. Because it is a vain thing. Ecclesiastes 8:15. Ecclesiastes 8:15.
Book of Ecclesiastes. Chapter 8, verse 15.
Go ahead.
Then I commended mirth.
He said I did what?
Commended mirth.
He said I commanded. Commended myrrh. Listen, come on over here. I'm about to be happy. Go ahead.
Slack it. Because a man hath no better thing under the sun.
But there's nothing better than for a man to be happy, right? Remember, Solomon was trying to test out what's good for man. What's good for man? So, wait a minute. Was it wine? Well, no. Was it women? No. Surely it's joy and happiness. This is good for man. It gotta be. Who doesn't want a happy man? And who don't want to be happy and joyful?
All the time.
All the time, right?
Right.
But let's see what he's saying. Read.
Then to eat and to drink and to be merry.
Right. Read.
For that shall abide with him of his labor the days of his life.
Right.
Which the Most High giveth him under the sun.
Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 1. Proverbs 14:13.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 1.
Read.
I said in mine heart.
Read.
Go to now.
Right.
I will prove thee with mirth.
So I'm going to prove my joy. I'm going to prove my heart, my mind with happiness. I'm going to give myself everything to make myself happy. Let's see how that works out. Remember, when you read this Ecclesiastes, man, it's almost like Solomon is doing a social experiment on himself. I mean, he had the time. He had the time. He had 40 years to just do nothing. And to experiment and to sing about ants and write 1,000 psalms and write parables about trees and give himself to happiness. So I'm going to eat, I'm going to drink, I'm going to deal with women. I'm going to be happy, son. Read.
Therefore, enjoy pleasure.
Right.
And behold.
Right.
This also is vanity.
Why? Why would pleasure be vanity? Why would happiness and joy be vanity? Nothing. No worth. Read on.
I said of laughter,
Uh-huh.
it is mad.
Right?
And of mirth, what doeth
Yeah,
it?
he's like, what's the point of it? He said laughter is madness. And myrrh, joyfulness, like what's the point? Y'all are probably thinking like, what the hell? Why?
So say if someone hits you with like, they're like, oh, okay, well, Solomon says that, okay, well, mirth is, vanity. But then, like, well, the scripture says, but one of the fruits of the spirit is joy.
Right.
How would you, what would be the proper discernment out of the,
Well, because there was more than one fruit of the spirit, right? Right. Think about what he's saying here. I'm giving myself to this one fruit.
Right,
how am I, and first of all, watch. Jump back up.
Verse 4.
Jump back up to Ecclesiasticus 8 and verse 15.
Come. Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 15.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 15. Mm-hmm.
Then I commend mirth.
Right.
Because a man has no better thing under the sun.
Right.
Than to eat.
Than to what?
Than to eat.
Where did his myrrh come from?
Than to eat.
And what else?
And to drink.
And to what?
And to drink.
You see, that's the difference. The fruit of the spirit is joy. Where was he trying to get his joy from?
The flesh, the carnal.
From the carnal. See, that's the difference where there's joy in both. Again, Solomon was like, wait a minute, let me give myself to joy on this end. Did he have joy in the spirit? Of course he did. But he was like, let me commend myrrh through food, through drink, through women, through building, through work. I'm going to give myself to that carnal joy. But that's the reason why it's vanity, because it's carnal. So if somebody said, well, yeah, the fruits of the spirit is joy, peace, love, I'll be like, yeah, the fruits of the spirit. Solomon was hitting the fruits of the flesh. That's the difference. Jump back down. Jump back down so you get that, right? How he was trying to get his joy. But this is how some brothers try to get their joy. You try to get joy through food. Some brother, I got to fill my belly to be happy. I got to fill my pockets to be happy. I got to be with a woman to be happy. But that only lasts for a moment. Watch.
Verse 2.
No, go to, read verse 2.
I said of laughter, it is mad.
Right.
And of mirth, what doeth it?
Proverbs 14 and verse 13.
Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 13.
Because this is the thing about laughter. This is the thing about laughter. Read.
Even in laughter,
the
heart is far sorrowful.
Because even when your heart is in sorrow, you can still crack a smile. You can still find the silver lining of something to laugh about. Right? Ain't that what they tell you in the world? Mm-hmm. Don't let them see you sweat. Don't let them see you upset. Laugh it off. Laugh, smile through it. Always crack a smile. Don't they got all them garbage sayings? But even in sorrow, there's laughter.
Even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful.
Even in laughter, the heart can still be sorrowful. So think about it. Does laughter take away the sorrow of the heart? No. It doesn't. Because where should the sorrow be? What type of sorrow should we have?
Godly.
A godly sorrow. Because where does our sorrow come from?
From the Most High.
No.
No, from our own, our own like sin.
From our own doing.
God.
So now if I have godly sorrow, not because it says the sorrow of the world does what? It says the sorrow of the world worketh death. Right? But godly sorrow, not to be repented of, is life. So even in sorrow, you can laugh and front like it's all good. Right?
God.
But laughter don't take away the sorrow. Read on.
And the end of that mirth is heaviness.
You see that? And the end of that mirth is heaviness. You can laugh and joke all you want, but when you're by yourself and you're going through something, you feel heavy. Laughter can't take away the heaviness of the heart.
Right.
That's why he said this. Go to Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 2. Ecclesiastes in La Biblia 7 and verse 2. Y'all gotta see, man. All these different things that we give ourselves to, all of it is laugh it off. You can't laugh off sorrow. You gotta be repentful. in a sorrowful time. You got to do what David did. You got to confess your faults, ask for forgiveness, and acknowledge your sin. That sorrow will come from you. You got to give yourself to wisdom. That sorrow will leave you, that pain. But laughter ain't going to do it. You can go to all the comedy specials you want. You can go watch Jim Carrey and Eddie Murphy and Mike Epps all you want. As soon as you walk out, what's going to hit you? Life. All the things you're dealing with. You could drink all you want. You could drown your sorrows in that bottle, and what's going to happen? When you sober up, you still got bills. Yeah. You still got baby mama drama. Yep. You still got wife issues. You still got self issues. That's why these things are vain. Because they don't accomplish the purpose that you're looking for. Read.
Ecclesiastes 7 verse 2.
Read.
It is better to go to the house of mourning.
It's better to be in the house of mourning. Read.
Than to go to the house of feasting.
Read. For
that is the end of all men.
Right.
And the living will lay it to his heart.
Yeah, because how long is a feast going to last? Think about it. You go to a feast, 2 hours, you leave. But guess what? You could walk into the feast and your problems could be at the door. You walk out that feast, where's your problems? Waiting at the door for you. The feast can't take that away.
At the welcome mat.
It don't matter how, right, it's right at the welcome mat. It don't matter how much liquor you give yourself to, how much dancing and music. Your problems is going to be there unless you solve them the right way. Read on.
Verse 3.
I love this right here, verse 3.
Sorrow is better than laughter.
He said what?
Sorrow is better than laughter.
Because laughter is for fools, man. That's why it's vain. Too much laughter, excessive. It says you know a man by his excessive laughter.
Come.
A nigga that's always laughing, you like, yo, you don't take nothing serious, B. You can't do nothing with that, man. The traits and characteristics of a bishop. Did it say a man of much laughter?
Love.
Or did it say a man of gravity?
Grave.
It said he got to be grave. Or did it say he got to be a comedian? Make everybody laugh.
Love.
It said a man that was grave and had his family with all gravity and submission. You see it when you put these thought processes together of the world and the scriptures, you'll see like, damn, all that laughter never got me nowhere. You was the class clown, but so what? Class clowns got problems.
They got a lot of problems.
They got a gang of problems. You can laugh all day, but it doesn't change what's going on around you and in you. Go ahead, read.
For by the sadness of the countenance,
right,
the heart is made better.
You see this? Sadness of the countenance, going through some things and not trying to laugh it off like it's nothing. That's what's going to make your heart more better, more careful. Because now, remember, it said, what carefulness, what revenge. Right? Give me that scripture real quick. Give me that. That's in Corinthians. Right? Where I'm sorry you sorrowed after a godly sorrow. I should have put it in here. I didn't. It just, the Spirit just touched me. Just touched me on the forehead. Ooh. Right? Where you at? Second? No, yeah, second, right?
Second.
Yeah, 2 Corinthians 7. Get that real quick, Shatat. Where you at? 7. Yeah. 2 Corinthians 7 and verse 9.
2 Corinthians.
Where you at? Go ahead.
Chapter 7, verse 9.
Right. Read verse 3 where you at, Jermaine.
Sorrow is better than laughter.
Go ahead.
For by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better.
Why? Because now there was supposed to be a carefulness about not getting into sorrow. But when you laughing everything off, who's being careful? What clown is careful? Right? The clown is sloppy. He does things to make a mockery of the sorrow. But it don't change it. Watch, read verse 9 in 2 Corinthians.
Now I rejoice, not that ye were made sorry, but that ye sorrowed to repentance.
Is it sorrow to laughter?
To repentance.
To jolty, to mirth?
To repentance.
Read.
For ye were made sorry after a godly manner.
Come on.
That ye might receive damage by us in nothing.
Right, read on.
For godly sorrow worketh repentance.
When it worketh joy.
Worketh repentance.
So you were supposed to repent, read.
To to salvation, not to be repented of.
Read.
But the sorrow of the world worketh death.
But the sorrow of the world, oh, that's nothing, baby. Just laugh it off. Don't let them see you sweat. You ain't got to do nothing to change. Just go watch what do they call it? A relationship comedy? Sleepless in Seattle or something, and you'll be all good. Read on.
Verse 11. For behold, this self-same thing that ye sorrowed after a godly sort.
Read.
What carefulness. What carefulness.
It says by sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. What?
Carefulness.
Read.
It wrought in you.
Read.
Yea. What clearing of yourself.
See, now I'm thinking, wait a minute. How do I move the right way? How do I not fall into this sorrow that I got to keep repenting of? Go ahead.
Yea. What indignation.
Right. You start to hate the things that get you into the sorrow. But if I'm laughing everything off, if I give myself to myrrh, how do I hate anything? Everything's a joke.
God.
Everything's a game.
Yeah, it's like, man, I messed up and I got caught up with one of them chicks on business, bro. Man, I did my thing with her though.
Yeah.
You know.
And then it becomes a bragging, and then it becomes it's not that bad, let me do it again.
Right.
Then you get burnt.
God.
The third try, you like, ooh, now you want to be sorry? But you already caught the package. Read on.
What fear? What fear?
See, the heart is made careful through fear. Read.
Yea, what vehement desire.
Come on.
Yea, what zeal.
Read.
Yea, what revenge.
You see this? This is why myrrh was vain, and joy and laughter was vanity, because it didn't put fear and indignation and a vehement desire. What else did it not do? Read on.
In all things ye have approved yourselves to be clear in this matter.
See, because laughter don't clear you of the matters you go through. Y'all get this? Jump back, Jermaine. Read where you at. Verse 4.
Ecclesiastes 7 verse 4.
Come on.
The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning.
The heart of the wise is in the house of the mourning. Why? Because he's being careful. He's putting himself to be careful and watchful, not just laugh it off. Solomon was testing this out, like, wait a minute, let me just be happy. Let me laugh things off. Well, wait a minute, now things are starting to slip through the cracks. Now niggas are starting to take advantage of me. Now everybody's looking at me like I'm a damn fool. Go ahead.
But the heart of fools is in the house of mirth.
You see this? Go ahead, read on.
It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise.
Because a man that's in the house of mirth ain't trying to hear no rebuke. You're like, man, you can't. Man, it was just an accident. Yeah, I know it was just chick on business, but man, I dealt with that. He ain't trying to hear the rebuke. Go ahead.
Then for a man to hear the song of fools.
Read verse 6.
For as the crackling of thorns under a pot.
Right, you hear when you cook in a pot on that wood stove and it. But then that only lasts for how long? Until that wood burns out, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So is the laughter.
So is the what?
Is the laughter.
Come on.
Of the fool.
You see that? That laughter only could last for so long. That laughter can only last for so long. So myrrh and joy is vanity. What else is vanity? Riches, man. The vanity of riches. Go to Psalms 39 and verse 6. Somebody else got Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 31 and verse 1. And then Ecclesiastes 5:12. Psalms 39 and verse 6.
Oh, Psalms chapter 39 and verse 6.
Read.
Surely every man walketh in vain. Excuse me. Surely every man walketh in a vain show.
Ain't that what they do in the world? They walk in a vain show. How? I got my Gucci belt, my $700 Gucci belt, my $30 Levi jeans, right? Wrangler jeans. I got my Balenciagas on, right? I got a dirty white tee with dirty polo drawers. It's all vain. Like, look at my polo drawers. They got horses on them. Let me make sure I sag all the way down to my pelvic area, past it. Let me make sure that the belt top of the belt buckle is right where my scrotum sack is, where it begins. That way you can see my polo draws or my silk Gucci's and my belt. Ain't that what they do? It doesn't matter how dirty their drawers are or socks. I'm gonna wear socks so you can see my sliders. Right? I'm gonna wear the tightest dirty jeans so you can see my socks that are dirty too. But it's all vanity. What does it mean? A nigga roll up on me with his pants sack and it's like, bro, pull those up. I want to see your drawers. And first of all, your belt ain't even real. And second of all, your belt costs more than your rent. It's all vain, but the Bible tells us what? Read it again.
Surely every man walketh in a vain show.
And what is it that they're trying to show? Read.
Surely they are disquieted in vain.
Read.
He heapeth up riches.
They do what?
Heapeth up riches.
See, riches are vain. Because you heap up all these riches and belts and Balenciagas and Louis Vuitton this and loafers this and $100, $200, $300 shoes this. But what happens after you heap up? Read.
And knoweth not who shall gather them.
Yeah, you heap it up, but who's it going to go to? Can your Louis belt go to your son? Can your Balenciagas go to your son or your daughter? Nah. But you got people that will heap these things up but have nothing to pass down. And they rely on these riches. Read on. That's it. Go to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 31 and verse 1. So everybody walks in this vain show after their riches. But you gather riches, but somebody else, you heap up the riches, but somebody else gathered them. I'm going to show you what it's talking about. I know y'all are like, wait a minute, what does it mean? Ecclesiastes 31 and verse 1.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 31 verse 1.
Read.
Watching for riches consumeth the flesh.
See, this is the thing with riches, man. You get them. You like Scrooge McDuck. Remember Scrooge McDuck? Where was his eye always at?
On his vault.
On the vault. He was swimming through the vault, spitting coins out the mouth like it was water in the vault. But you couldn't go by that vault, and he was always having some security. He was going crazy with security for the vault. Right?
Yep.
Losing sleep. Go ahead.
And the care thereof driveth away sleep.
Read on.
Watching care will not let a man slumber.
Yeah, man, you caring for them riches. You worried about that car getting dented in the parking lot. You worried about somebody stepping on your shoes. You worried about your bank account. You're going to lose sleep. But it's all vanity, man. Go ahead.
As a sore disease breaketh sleep.
Yeah, you killing yourself to be able to afford some belt. So you can show off. So now I got to make sure I work 1,000 hours of OT to make money for this belt. So I can buy the belt and pay my rent. But now I ain't got no money for food. You lose sleep over these things. You lose sleep trying to keep up with the Joneses. But see, remember one thing. Didn't Solomon have all the riches? He was the richest man on the earth.
Yes, sir.
And even he knew, man, trying to keep track of all these riches, bruh. Trying to allocate where this goes and where that goes. It's a lot of pressure. Read on.
Verse 3. The rich have great labor.
They have what?
Great labor.
Come on.
In gathering riches together.
Come on, check this out.
And when he rested,
Uh-huh.
he is filled with his delicates.
Delicates, right. So they got much labor gathering their riches, and when they rest, when they chill, they all filled up and nice. Go to Ecclesiastes 5 and verse 12. Ecclesiastes 5 and 12, Proverbs 27, 24.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 12.
Read.
The sleep of laboring men is sweet.
Right.
Whether he eat little or much.
Read.
But the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep.
Right, saying the same thing we just read. The abundance of the rich, it ain't going to cause him to sleep because he's thinking about those riches. Go ahead.
There is a sore evil, which I have seen under the sun.
Read.
Namely, riches keep for the owner thereof to their hurt.
Riches kept for the owners thereof of their hurt. Because what is it about riches? You got it and somebody else don't.
Okay.
And they gonna come for it. Think about when they do a home invasion. They home invading Third Ward.
Law.
They home invading niggas in Sugarland. Why? Because they got it. Oh, he got it, so let's go hurt them. Let's go take from the rich. You see why riches are vain? Because you have it, you kill for it, you die for it, but then guess what? Somebody will kill you for it. And riches just translate from hand to hand. Read on.
But those riches perish by evil travail.
Come on, read.
And he begotteth a son, and there is nothing in his hand.
Right. Because you'll kill for those riches, but then, again, what do you have to hand to your son? Well, you can't hand them off because somebody came and robbed you. Somebody came and robbed you, man. Somebody came and killed you for your riches. Now you beget a son. Man, I ain't got nothing for you, son. They done clear out the bank. They done cleared me out. What a Proverbs 27:24. Matthew 6:19.
Proverbs 27 verse 24.
Read.
For riches are not forever.
Riches are what?
Are not forever.
What riches, though? Because there's two types of riches. The carnal riches, the gold, the silver, the garments, those don't last forever, man. Solomon understood this. Solomon understood this firsthand, especially this point right here. Read.
And doeth the crown endure to every generation?
Did Solomon's crown endure to every generation? No. Because after Solomon, the crown was split. And who did it go to? His dumbass son and his dumbass servant. Both dumb. Both unwise.
God.
Both unwise men. So no, the crown don't endure. The crown don't endure, man, from generation to generation. That's why it wasn't important to hang your hat on the crown, on the riches, on the money. Matthew 6:19.
Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19.
Read.
Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth,
Right?
where moth and rust doeth corrupt.
Because that was the problem with riches. It didn't matter if it was gold, silver. Guess what? It get canker sores. It'll rust up, man. Gold will rust up and tarnish. Or somebody just come and steal it. Read.
And where thieves break through and steal.
Because they know you got it. They coming for it, man. They know you got enough of it. They gonna come for it. Read.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven.
But do what?
Lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven.
But lay up for yourselves treasures. Hey, is this unplugged?
Yes, sir. it is.
Yeah. Can you plug it in real fast? My phone is about to die.
Yeah, just
Little commentary.
What you got?
So
Yeah, just plug it in.
I was doing some research. Like real gold never tarnishes or rust. Like it can be.
It can last forever.
Like when they say when they went or when they still excavate these tombs.
Right.
Like the gold.
It's still good.
Yeah.
Right. I believe it, because that's real gold. It ain't that middle of the mall gold. But see, the thing with gold is somebody just come and take it. Think about when they excavate all these tombs and they're empty.
Oh yeah.
They buried all King Tut's and all them Egyptians with tons of gold. But guess what? They go and they excavate and half the gold is gone. Ripping out gold teeth, everything. Because that's the problem with riches. It's going to translate from hand to hand. But if you hang your hat on riches, you're going to lose at the end anyway. Right? Read on.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven.
Wait, where should your treasures be at?
In heaven.
Read on.
Where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt.
Yeah, because moth and rust can't corrupt charity. Moth and rust can't corrupt love, peace, joy. Okay, let's deal with the real peace, the real joy of the Spirit. Moth and rust can't corrupt those things. Nothing can take away the charitable works that you do towards your brother. Those are written in the Spirit. Nothing can take away the works you do towards the Most High. Those are written in the Spirit, man. Right? Go ahead.
And where thieves do not break through nor steal.
Right. Go to James 5:1.
James chapter 5 and verse 1.
Proverbs 23:5. Go ahead.
Go to now, ye rich men.
Right.
Weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
And this is what is a rich man's misery? What is miserable to the rich? To not be rich. Go ahead.
Your riches are corrupted.
Your riches are what?
Corrupted.
How? Read.
And your garments are moth and eaten.
Read.
Moth eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered.
Come on.
And the rust of them shall be a witness against you.
See, the scriptures say that gold and silver rust. And they canker. Go ahead.
And shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Excuse me, as it were fire.
Read.
Ye have heaped treasure together for your last days.
Right, Proverbs 23 and verse 5. This is the problem with riches that we don't understand. The riches on earth. This is the problem with riches on earth that Solomon understood. Read.
Proverbs 23 verse 5. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not?
Go ahead.
For riches certainly make themselves wings.
Riches do what?
Certainly make themselves wings.
Listen, your riches are going to make wings and fly away, man. Some way or another. So you can heap up all you want, but they ain't going to last. Go ahead.
They fly away.
Read.
As an eagle.
I say what?
As an eagle.
Ain't nobody catching the eagle. We talked about the eagle the other day, how strong and powerful they are. When them riches take off, hasta la vista, baby. Read on.
Toward heaven.
Go to Job 31 and verse 24. So even in riches, man, riches upon this earth, there's vanity. Why you think the scriptures say Yahweh Shai for our sakes, even though he was rich, made himself poor? He knew that he couldn't just come with a bunch of money and sway the people. Well, he's gonna buy everybody off? Nah, he knew that them riches, after a while, it was gonna be nothing. So he gave it up. Why did the man, he said that follow the commandment from my youth up. I want to follow you. And Yahweh Shai said, well, sell all you got. Give it to the poor. He went away bitterly weeping. He didn't want to give up those riches, but they was going to get took anyway. Hardly can a rich man enter into heaven.
And wasn't it Korah that went up against Moses?
Korah that went up against Moses.
Because of his riches, he thought that he could.
He was supposed to lead Israel.
Yeah, do a better job than the man that the Most High put in that position, simply because he put more faith and more. He esteemed his money more than the Most High.
Right, but that's why, going back to the beginning, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Surely man is like a vain show. All men are vain by nature and ignorant of the Most High. Why? Because we'll put riches above everything. We'll say that our riches justify us to be in a position. Well, I got money, so I should be able to do this, that, and the third. That don't mean a damn thing, because your money can fly away. Then who are you? You can't pay for things, and who are you? You no different than the next man, right? A man of high degree is a lie. A man of low degree is vain. But they should all be laid in the balance. Why? Because when everything evens out, when everything is taken, when we all play on the same field, what does it boil down to? Boils down to wisdom. Job 31 and verse 24.
Job 31, 24. If I have made gold my hope,
right?
Or have said to the fine gold, thou art my confidence.
Read.
If I rejoice because my wealth was great, and because mine hand had gotten much.
Verse 28.
This also were an iniquity, to be punished by the judge.
Yeah. You putting those riches above everything, that's iniquity to be punished, man. He said, if I made gold my hope and made fine gold his confidence, he said that's punishable. Read on.
For I should have denied the Most High that is above.
Surely man is vain by nature, who is ignorant of God. So when you rely on these riches, remember Solomon had all the gold in the world. Did he rely on that? Did they ever say that, oh, Solomon got so rich that he just forsook the Most High? No, because he understood what riches, that they came and that they went. And at any moment, the Most High can take you from King Supreme to the low level nigga.
You know, this kind of remind me of when we bring this out about the gold. Supposedly, like the Queen and these high ups or Illuminati, whatever, they got this. They got on this gold, like in the Federal Reserve.
They do.
And it's like
that's what they rely on.
My head is thinking like, what if the Most High uses that to construct? I mean, a piece of that, you know, to construct the streets and
oh, you talking about the kingdom? Nah, we ain't getting that. We getting good gold. We ain't getting that old touched up, stepped on. That gold, listen, all that gold that they got, the Queen and Federal Reserve, that ain't the purest of the pure. Oh no, that gold bullion, that ain't, bruh, come on.
And doesn't the scriptures talk about that they'll be throwing all of that in the streets
Yeah, all that stuff is gonna have no worth anyway.
No value at all.
Remember, they said the gold that we gonna have is gonna be like glass. You can see through it. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! Real gold, that gold from the heavens.
Yeah.
Think about that. Where the gold here don't even worth nothing. Like when you roll through places like Venezuela, and all you see is money in the streets. Literally, their currency is in the gutters. Yeah, because their currency has no value. That's how every place is gonna be. Because all the currency, even Americans' currency ain't got no damn value. It's just a bunch of paper they print. They ain't got no real value to it. They ain't got enough gold to back it, or oil, or anything else, or black people to back it. They ain't got enough stock to back the money. They just print.
It's interesting. Venezuela, they got on the boulevard. They have black people.
On the what?
On the money. On their money.
Oh,
currency.
Both do they?
It's called boulevard.
They know what's up. They know what's up. Let's jump on. Go to Luke. Go to Luke. Read Job one more time. Go to Luke chapter 12 and verse 21. Hold that. Major. Go back to Job 31. I'm going to skip this story for time. Let me see. No, actually I'm not. I got time. Got an hour. So where we at? Go to Luke 12 and 16. Read.
Book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 16.
So we're understanding about riches. They're vain because they don't last. Right? At any moment. Oh man, you got a nice car? Give me that. Right? You know. You got nice rims? Give me that. Twice. Twice. Give me them rims twice. You got good rims the first time? I want them. Even if they're not so good to you. But then, oh, you got better rims? I want those too. The heaping up. Not saying that's what you were doing. But the way people look at riches. Like you're rich because you have certain things. Man, it's sad when you can't have nothing in this world. Remember, who was it? Who was it? Cain? And Menace? He went and got the Mustang. Then he seen the homeboy at the Fat Burger with the Mustang. And what's the first he did? I want them rims and that sound system. And put him on his Mustang. But that's how riches are. If that's all you care about. That's what they're going to do. Read Luke 12:16.
And he spake a parable unto them,
right?
Saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentiful.
Read.
Plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits.
Get Proverbs 11 and 4. Go ahead, read on.
And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barn.
Right.
And build greater.
Right.
And there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods.
Right. So this man, his land brought forth an abundance. He had nowhere to put it. He said, I'm going to redo everything. I'm going to redo my barnyard to be able to fit all my goods. Now, he should have brought that for tights, right? He should have brought that and donated it to the poor. But he said, no, I'm going to build something bigger where I can heap up. I can heap up my goods. Go ahead.
Verse 19. And I will say to my soul,
Right.
Soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry.
Read.
But the Most High said unto him, Thou fool,
Now what?
thou fool,
Read.
this night thy soul shall be required of thee.
Yeah, you about to die. Read.
Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided?
Whose riches are those now? When somebody want to break in and steal what you got, whose are they now? When you're dead, somebody done came and got those, man. Read.
So is he that layeth up treasures for himself and is not rich toward the Most High.
You see that? You laying up treasures for yourself, but there's no richness towards the Most High. Proverbs 11:4. Read.
Proverbs 11:4.
Proverbs 16. Read.
Riches profit not in the day of
You
wrath.
see that? Because riches don't profit you in the day of wrath. A nigga got when a stray bullet come flying through, you can't just hold up a checkbook and pay that bullet off. When the Most High wants your soul, you can't be like, Yahweh, let me give a ransom for myself. No. He said it. God said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. What you gonna give in exchange for your soul? Nothing. There's no riches that can exchange for your soul. When it's your time, you can't buy your way out. And now those same riches that you spent time heaping up, now we understand the first scripture, right? Where it says, he heap up riches and knoweth not who shall gather them. Because you heaping up and building barns to store your riches. Somebody put you to death. Where do those go to? Where's what's the rapper that just got shot? Nipsey Hussle. Who getting his money? They're fighting over his estate. The Marathon store ain't even been open since he died. Where's all that money going to? I guarantee you it's gonna go to the city.
Yeah, they're about to build like
Something
a tower.
bigger? A tower?
A tower right there.
I heard something like that. They're building a tower or something. But my point is, where's his money going? They're fighting over his estate. His brother trying to get control. I'm sure old girl is trying to get a little piece. The baby mamas is trying to get a bar. Who knows when your soul is required who those riches go to? Now, is it wrong to have something? Hell no. Well, you better have it set up to where that stuff gets allocated.
But he called him, Yahweh Shai said, thou fool.
Yeah.
So
Because
he wasn't doing things right.
he wasn't doing things the right way. That abundance should have went to where it needed to go. The scriptures say, give alms of your substance according to the greater you have or the least you have. What alms did he give? None. Just like the man that went away bitterly weeping because he said, sell all you have and give it to the poor. It's like, hell no, I ain't doing that. This is my stuff. But when it's time for your soul to be required, what can you give in exchange? Them riches ain't going to profit you in the day of wrath. Read on.
Want me to read on?
Turn.
Okay. I want to say. All right. But righteousness delivered from death.
Read it from the top. All right.
God.
What?
Proverbs 11 verse 4.
Read.
Riches profit not in the day of wrath.
And this is what we have to understand about riches, man. They don't profit you in the day of wrath. Go ahead.
But righteousness delivereth from death.
But righteousness delivers from the death. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say it's interesting because like how Satan gets in and like just what he did with Yahweh Shai, he was like he took him to a high place and was like, look, you can have all this if you just bow down to me.
Bow down to me.
And Satan does the same thing with people that want to get rich, get famous. You know, like, oh, you know what? Look, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, we'll give you all this. You know, you get your name here, you get a star on Hollywood. You know, but you might have to do a little strange for a little piece of change.
Something
But you know
strange for a little piece of change, make them holler for $1.
But
right?
you know, but We're gonna take care of you. We're gonna take care of your family, your family's family. So
They'll give you all that money up front, then you owe later. Go ask all them rappers. Go ask all the rappers that got deals. They got an advance, 30, 40,000. Now they 30, 40,000 in debt because they got the advance. They got they made $1 million, $50,000 advance, right? Ain't that $500,000?
500,000. Yeah, 500,000.
I said 50,000, huh?
Yeah.
Con.
Okay. So let's say they got a $500,000 deal.
Con.
Let's just say they got a $100,000 deal because they ain't getting no millions like that, especially back in the day. Half of that they get advanced. The other 50% goes into publishing and marketing. You already spent 50, and another 50 went on publishing. Now you 100,000 in debt. Now you 100,000. You owe the record label. They don't tell you that stuff on the back end when you chasing riches. But now when you ain't got that, or when you do have it, how is it going to profit you when it's time again? When the Most High says, "I want your soul," you gonna be like, Yahweh, well, I got 30 grand. Yahweh, I got a brick of gold. I got these keys. I got a few Bentleys, Yahweh, let me stay. Hell nah. Solomon understood this. He had all the money. He knew he couldn't buy his soul. It wasn't his. Go to Proverbs 16 and verse 16.
Con. Book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
How much better is it to give wisdom than gold,
Right?
and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver?
How much is it to get wisdom than gold? And to get understanding than chosen silver? Wisdom of Solomon 8:5. Wisdom of Solomon 8 and verse 5. As we transition over to the next point. The vanity of wisdom. Now, why would wisdom be vain? Before we go, I want to see what y'all are thinking. Why would wisdom be vain?
I mean, it can become vain if you like just stuck on it like anything else.
But it's wisdom.
Apply knowledge.
But it's wisdom.
The correct application of.
Right, that's what it is. But that's what I'm saying.
I
It's
mean,
wisdom. That's what we are supposed to operate on, right?
Con.
Right.
So how is it vain?
It's vain because one is
I'm gonna let after that. I'm gonna let. Go ahead.
we should be chasing the spirit of Yahweh Shai. So
But that is wisdom.
That's operating in wisdom. However, like praising the Most High, laying down our life for the Most High. That's a proper way to live.
Abadiah.
I was gonna say, because knowledge puffeth up,
Okay.
and when you get that knowledge and you have that wisdom to know what to do with the knowledge, if you're not conscious of the Most High, then it becomes vanity because you're not giving Him the praise and the glory for the knowledge or the wisdom.
That's absolutely right. Now let me ask y'all a question. Well, she already killed my question, but think about it. Wisdom is the pure influence flowing from the Most High. How can it be vain? She didn't destroy the question, but how can wisdom be vain? She gave part of it. If wisdom is the pure influence that flows from the Most High, the Bible says that, right?
God.
How can wisdom be vanity?
Because we all fall out of wisdom at times.
That's not why.
And we need to get back to the Most High.
That's not why.
It can just make us weary.
How? You're on the right path. How?
Like, and I forget the scripture, but basically like,
Well, I have it in here for you.
Con.
I have it in here for you. But think about this. To get wisdom, you got to do something carnal.
Con.
You got to read a book. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. You got to do something carnal to get this spiritual attribute. Now, let's go there. Let's read Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 5.
Wisdom of Solomon 8 verse 5.
Right?
If riches be a possession to be desired in this life,
Right?
what is richer?
What is what?
what is richer
Read.
than wisdom,
Then wisdom. Read.
that worketh all things.
1 Kings 4:29. 1 Kings 4:29. My bad. My little sugar went down a little bit. I had to eat something. I'm on a fast. So Ecclesiastes 1:13.
1 Kings chapter 4, verse 29. And the Most High gave Solomon wisdom
Read.
and understanding, exceeding much,
Right.
the largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore.
So he gave him so much wisdom it couldn't even be counted. Couldn't even calculate Solomon's wisdom. Read.
Verse 30. And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the east country, and all the wisdom of Egypt.
Read.
For he was wiser than all men.
Right. Read.
Than Ethan the Ezrahite, and Herman, and Shalcol, and Darda, and the sons of Mahol. And his fame was in all nations round about.
Ecclesiastes 1:13.
Ecclesiastes 1:13.
Right.
And I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom.
By what?
By
He
wisdom.
said he gave his heart to seek and search things out by wisdom. Read.
Concerning all things
Right.
that are done under heaven.
So he wanted to, by wisdom, seek out everything that was done under the heavens. What was the problem with that? Read.
This sore travail.
This what?
Sore travail.
It's a what?
Sore travail.
Yeah, man. Read.
Hath the Most High given to the sons of men.
See, this was the duty of all men, to use wisdom and use wisdom to seek everything. But he said it was a sore travail. Read.
To be exercised therewith.
Because we were supposed to be exercised with wisdom in everything. But he said it was a sore travail. Go ahead.
I have seen all the works.
Wait, verse 17.
Con. And I gave my heart to know wisdom.
And he said, I gave my heart to know wisdom. I gave my heart to wisdom. I gave myself. And what happened? Read.
And to know madness and folly.
Right.
I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit.
Read verse 18. Why?
For in much wisdom.
And much wisdom is what?
Is much grief.
That's the problem with wisdom. The more wisdom you get, the more grief, man. The more sorrow. The more wisdom you get, the more the alcohol don't matter. The more the riches don't matter, because now you're more careful and calculated with everything you do. The more wisdom, the more money. You're like, damn, now I got to do the right thing with this money. The Bible says to give alms. The Bible says to give to the poor. The Bible says to do this. The Bible says to do that. The wisdom says this. You're like, Jesus, I wish I had this wisdom. Jesus Christ, like, what the? Right? Well, the Bible says I can get a woman, but the Bible says to the teacher, do like this, do it like this, do it like that. Don't have too many. Don't put your trust in them. Don't worry about them. If you have one, be as if you have none. Damn. What's the point of having one? What's the point if I gotta be as if I don't have one? Right? You're like, what the hell is this thing? Man, what?
It's a headache.
Be as if I have one. Those that have wives, be as though I have none. Whoa. Counting on a man blessed before you see his children? What? Wait a minute, huh? So you mean I gotta raise my children the right way before I can be called blessed? Huh. That's crazy. See, in much wisdom is much grief. What else?
And he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow.
He increases what?
Knowledge increaseth sorrow.
Because what does knowledge give you? The ability to see your condition. Why do you think our people are not sorrowful being hoes and pimps and drug dealers? They have no knowledge of their condition. But when you get the knowledge, you're like, oh my God. Well, I've been doing this my whole life. This is how I've been living. Damn. And then what happens? You get sad for a second. You start to condemn yourself, right? Like, damn, man, I was living like that. But the Most High was like, nah. And I was like, yeah. You start to condemn yourself, sorrow. But then you start to break out of that and say, you know what, no, I'm going to live right. But then there's another problem with that. There's another problem with that. Because now you take this wisdom to this limit where you get over righteous. That's the problem. Right? Where we at?
Ecclesiastes 1:18.
Go to verse 7 and 16. Ecclesiastes 7 and 16. Because now you increase wisdom, you increase sorrow. But now you get all this wisdom and you're trying to live the right way. So what do you do now, though, if you don't use wisdom right?
Ecclesiastes 7:16.
Uh-huh.
Be not righteous over much.
Read.
Neither make thyself over wise.
See, and that's the problem with wisdom. You become over wise to the point where now you're scrutinizing every little thing, but you're not doing it the right way. You become a little hypocritical. You become a little on the high horse, right? Because now you're not even using wisdom the right way. It says, be not over wise. Go ahead.
Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
Because, again, you can't have all the wisdom. Solomon didn't have all the wisdom. He said it was a sore travail to try everything by wisdom. Because he could even accomplish trying everything by wisdom, else he wouldn't have fell. He wouldn't have fell. Even the older you are, the wiser you're supposed to get, right?
God.
That's what they say, but remember, he said, you made my days as the handbreadth, and my ages as nothing. This is vanity. So the older you get, the wiser is BS. That don't matter. The older you get, don't matter.
God.
You got to keep using wisdom no matter what. Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 12. So you see, wisdom is not a vain thing, but there's a vain thing in trying to get wisdom, where this is another thing you got to worry about. Read.
Ecclesiastes 12 verse 12.
Uh-huh.
And further, by these, my son, be admonished,
Right.
of making many books.
Read.
There is no end.
And that's the problem with wisdom. There is no end of books, man. They're always going to have this new book out full of wise sayings and quotes. Or this book of the dead, or this book of Esther, or not Esther, book of Enoch, or book of Jubilees, or this book or that book. Look, there's wisdom in here. Go ahead.
And much study,
Right?
is a weariness of the
I
flesh.
say what?
And much study is a weariness of the flesh.
But how do you get wisdom unless you study? There's no other way.
Do it in do it in moderation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some are like, no, I got to study. But it wears you down. I put in an 8-hour session one time, and I was like, whoa. Listen, just putting this class together. If y'all only knew. If y'all only knew the methodology of putting this together, it wore me down. Just meditating on it. And then rearranging the scriptures and arranging them and putting them in. And that ain't going to be right. And no. Many of 5 o'clock in the morning sessions. Because it is a weariness to achieve this perfection through wisdom. It's weary. There's only so much you can read. There's only so much you can stay up and study and go through the books and read this and read that. There's only so much. And then when you do get it, you got to be careful how to use it, because she said it. 1 Corinthians 8 and verse 1. Knowledge is going to puff you up. You ain't got to go there. But knowledge will puff you up if that's all you're relying on. And forgetting about the charity, because remember, knowledge is a carnal thing. But charity is a spiritual thing. Charity edifies. Right? What's the next vanity we got here? The vanity of work. The vanity of labor. The vanity of labor, man. Go to Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 14.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 14.
Ecclesiastes 2 and 11. Go ahead.
I have seen all the works that are done under the sun,
Uh-huh.
and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit.
Now, think about it, man. Think about the works that Solomon did just to build the kingdom. To build his house, 14 years. To build the temple, 7 years. 21 years of straight work. 21 years. He said, I've seen the works under all the sun. Because when you really think about it, what work is greater than the work of the king? None, right? The scriptures tell you that. Once the king builds it, can you build it better? Hell no. That is the works. But he said, I've seen all the works under the sun. They're all vexation of spirit and vanity. Why? Where is he coming from? Ecclesiastes 2:11.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 11. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought.
So now he looked at all the works under heaven and was like, that's vain. Let me look at what I'm doing. Let me make sure that what I'm doing is on point. Go ahead.
Come. And on the labor that I had labored to do.
Right.
And behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit.
But he built the temple for the Most High. Why would that be vanity? He built his house 14 years to build a house? I mean, come on, man. Why would he say that's vanity?
Because it was a carnal thing.
It was. It was. But see, he wasn't even dealing with it on that level. Could Solomon live forever? So the things he built have to go to someone else, right? That's the problem. Think about it. Better yet, we'll just read about it. Read on.
Come. All was vanity and vexation of spirit.
Right?
And there was no profit under the sun.
Jump to verse 17.
Verse 17. Therefore I hated life.
Therefore what?
I hated life.
Listen, this man said he hated his life. Listen, when I started reading this, I was like, damn, was he suicidal? Wait a minute. He did some great works in the name of the Most High. It's not like he built his house in his name. Even his own house he built in the name of the Most High. 40 years of peace he accomplished for the nation. Rule the world with wisdom. And he said what?
Salakia.
You got to stay.
Therefore I hated life. Because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me.
Now was he saying don't work? Like the work of the Most High is grievous? This is what grieved him. Go ahead.
For all is vanity and vexation of spirit.
Read.
Yea, I hated all my labor, which I had taken under the sun, because I should leave it unto the man that shall be after me.
Because that's the problem. Think about you built a luxurious kingdom. 14 years your house, 7 years the temple, 40 years of peace you accomplish, and then you got to leave it to some nigga. You got to leave it to some knucklehead. You got to leave it to your son that you know damn well he ain't going to carry on the legacy. What was the point of that work? What was the point? If you're going to leave it to somebody, they're going to destroy it, rip it down. What was the point? Again, was he saying don't work? Now, you can look at this two ways. You can say, well, what's the point? Or you can say, whatsoever you do it wholeheartedly unto the Most High, not unto men. So it don't matter who comes along. That's how we got to look at our works. Because it's easy to sit back. Listen. It's easy to sit back as a leader and say, what's the point? Y'all niggas ain't listening. It's easy to be like, what's the point of coming here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday? They ain't listening anyway. We canceling class, B. Y'all ain't listening. Ain't that easy? But what does the Most High want?
For us to continue doing what we've been commissioned to do.
Right. The Most High wants us to do what we're commissioned to do, not towards. He wants me to do what I'm commissioned to do, not towards y'all, but towards him. So if this was empty, I'd still be here doing this. It don't matter. Because it's not going to go out void. And it's not for nothing. But see, that's why men, they get weary in well-doing. Solomon could have easily, in the 7th year of building his house, been like, man, screw this, bruh. Wrap it up, we done. The 3.5 year, this epiphany could have hit him. Like, I'm going to leave this to this nigga? Look how dumb he is. Look how dumb Rehoboam is. He knew his son. Damn it, Jeroboam, the servant, he gonna get part? He's dumb too. Man, we ain't gonna do this. It's a waste of time, bro. But Solomon had to be in the mind of whatsoever I do, I'm doing it towards the Most High. And whoever comes after me, yeah, it sucks that I gotta leave it to these dudes, but at least I did my part. At least I did my job. Even though it was grievous, not the actual work was grievous, but the fact that I built such beauty, and I'm gonna leave it to someone that don't even care, that don't even have the same wisdom as me, bro, that gotta hurt. That gotta hurt. Read on.
Come on. Verse 18. Yea.
Verse 19.
Verse 19. And who knoweth whether he shall be a wise man or a fool?
Right?
Yet shall he have rule over all my labor, wherein I have labored.
You see that? Come on.
And wherein I have shown myself wise under the sun.
You see, because he showed himself wise the way he built. But is the next man going to show himself wise and maintain? It's a toss-up. But does it matter? No. It don't matter. Because I'm going to give y'all this. It's just like this. Kazakia could have been like, nah, I'm not leaving Houston. Because I don't know if the brothers under me are going to keep it the same way. But was that up to him? No. It was his time. It's your time, my son. Go to Virginia. What's going to happen in Houston is going to happen. What's going to happen? But it's not up to him. That's up to the Most High. But he's still got to go do his work. And then he going to have to leave Virginia to somebody. You see that? I could be in the same dilemma. When it's time for me to go, I could say, well, damn, I got to leave this to somebody. They ain't going to take care of it the way I did it. Who's to say? The next man might come along and do better. But it's not up to us. You just got to carry on your work. So the work ain't vain. Got y'all. The work ain't vain. It's leaving it in the care of another man where the vanity comes in and where it feels like, what's the point? Finish it up.
This is also vanity.
Right?
Verse 20. Therefore I went about to cause my heart to despair of all the labor.
Right?
Which I took under the sun.
I was in despair looking at everything like, damn, I gotta leave that. Damn, that chariot cities. Wait. Think about it. He made shields and swords from gold. And as soon as he died and Rehoboam came into power, the Egyptians came in and switched out the gold for brass. Think about that. That's what he was talking about. Like, wait a minute, I did all these things at the highest level. And somebody's gonna come in and diminish it? But that's what happened. As soon as he died, his son let the Egyptians come in. They switched out the gold shields, the golden swords, and put brass. That gotta suck, man. You spent all that time building things on the highest level for the next man to not give a damn, not put the same care. That'll make anybody want to just give up and quit. But the point was not to, because it wasn't about the man coming or the man going. It was about the work that the Most High wanted done. Read.
Verse 21. For there is a man whose labor is in wisdom.
Right.
And in knowledge.
Right.
And in equity.
Yet
to a man that hath not labored, therein shall he leave it for his portion.
You see that? Man, that's terrible. That's a terrible situation to be left in. But what does it tell you? You better teach your sons, teach your daughters, teach the ones under you. If this is a fear, make sure the next person coming up under you is ready to take on the responsibility. Why do you think it wasn't Kazakia's fear to leave? Because he knew I was going to handle it. Read on.
This also is vanity and a great evil.
Right, because not just the fact that I got to leave it to somebody, but the thought is vanity. Read verse 22.
For what had man of all his labor,
right,
and of the vexation of his heart, wherein he had labored under the sun?
Yeah, because where is the reward? Where is the reward? Well, there is no reward because all these things are carnal. And there is no For one, there's no satisfaction in the flesh, but everything that the flesh wants is vain. Watch, go to Ecclesiastes 2:10.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 10. And whatsoever mine eyes desired,
Right.
I kept not from them.
Now, this is Solomon again talking. He said, whatever I wanted, whether it was woman, wine, gold, he said, I kept nothing from myself. Read.
I withheld not my heart from any joy.
Read.
For my heart rejoiced in all my labor.
Read.
And this was my portion of all my labor.
Go to Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 7.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 verse 7. All the labor of man is for his mouth, and yet the appetite is not filled.
Right, because the flesh wants the vanity, but what's the problem with the flesh?
Never satisfied.
The flesh is never satisfied. The flesh is never satisfied, man. You'll work and be like, damn, I ain't got enough. Ecclesiastes 4 and verse 8. Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 8.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 8. There is one alone, and there is not a second.
Come on.
Yea, he had neither child nor brother.
Read.
Yet is there no end of all his labor.
You see that? He has no child or brother, but there's no end of his works. Come on.
So like, neither is his eye satisfied with
You
riches.
see that? Neither is his eye satisfied. Come on.
Neither said he, for whom do I labor?
Read.
And berate my soul of good. This is also vanity.
Right. Who
Yea,
am I laboring for? I got no sons or brothers. Why am I killing myself? Because why? You'll be a single man. You'll be a single woman like, I got to work 1,000 shifts. Damn, you got kids and stuff? Nah, I just got to get money. I got to get them. I got to chase that bag, dog. How many single women y'all know that's like that? Working 8 jobs. It's like, wait a minute, you got children and a husband? No. I just got to make sure I got it. Like, what? Because the flesh is never satisfied. Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 8, Ecclesiastes 5 and 10.
Ecclesiastes 1 and 8.
All
things are full of labor.
Come on.
Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing.
You see that? The eyes ain't satisfied with seeing. Go ahead.
Nor the ear filled with hearing.
Right, because man's flesh ain't satisfied. He's not good at seeing. He's not good with just hearing a thing. Now I got to touch it. Now I got to taste it. Ecclesiastes 5 and verse 10.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 10.
And this is another problem with riches. Read.
He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver.
Why? Because one silver bullion or one silver shekel ain't going to quench that thirst. I always say it. Jay-Z hit his first million.
Right.
You think the nigga stopped? No. Now he's at $1 billion. You think he's going to stop because he hit $1 billion?
Nope.
He that loveth money ain't going to be satisfied with money. He going to keep going until he dies, until he kills himself. Go ahead.
Nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity.
Yeah, so a man's flesh and the wants of the flesh are vain. Because the flesh can't be satisfied. Read.
When goods increase, they increase that eat them.
They are increased that eat them.
Excuse me.
So the more food you got, the more mouths you got to feed. Ain't going to be no satisfaction there. Read.
And what good is there to the owner thereof?
Read.
Saving the beholding of them with their eyes.
Go to Ecclesiasticus 4:18. So you saving the beholding with your eyes. It's like, oh, you want what your eye wants. They say your eye is bigger than your belly?
John.
Ecclesiastes 4 and 8. This is the problem with the flesh. This is what it turns into.
4 Ecclesiastes
14 and 8. No, you're right, in the Apocrypha. My bad. Ecclesiastes 14 and 8. Jeremiah 22 and 17. Proverbs 20 and 27. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 14 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
The envious man hath the wicked eye.
You see that? An envious man. A man that's never satisfied. That eye becomes wicked. Read.
He turneth away his face. and despiseth men.
Read.
A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion.
Right. Why is this portion bigger than mine? Man, I need a little bit more. You know I'm a bigger guy. Read.
And the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul.
Read verse 10.
A wicked eye evileth, a wicked eye evileth,
Envieth.
envieth his bread.
Yeah, man, you'll envy your own bread. You be looking at it like, man, this ain't enough. What the hell's going on here? What? Nah, man, let me look. No, man. Man, damn, man. That's it. Go ahead.
And he is a niggard at his table.
Why? Because you'll sit at your own table and eat like you ain't never gonna get no more. You'll be in your own house and you gotta eat up all the steaks. You at home. Why you gotta eat all the meat up? Save some for the people in the house. When you become a niggard at your own table and you do this.
God.
You scrape everything to yourself.
Yeah, it's like you throw a get together, but then you get these big old huge plates and everyone else is barely able to get anything.
Yeah, you throwing a party, but you got take home plates. You putting stuff in Tupperware. Like, come on, man. You looking at your own stuff like, yeah, wait a minute, let me get down on this before somebody else comes and gets it.
Right.
Jeremiah 22:17, Proverbs 27:20.
Jeremiah chapter 22, verse 17.
Come on.
But thine eyes and thine heart are not but for thy covetousness.
You see that? But thine heart and thine eyes is nothing but for covetousness. Because that's where the flesh pushes you. It pushes you into this covetous estate. That's mine. I want this. I want that. I'm never satisfied. 2018, need the 2019. Got the 2000. Oh, got traded. Got 2020. Need the 2020. Got to get 2021. Got to get that new, right? Go ahead.
And for to shed innocent blood.
Right.
And for oppression.
And read.
And for violence to do it.
Proverbs 27:20.
Proverbs chapter 27, verse 20.
And this is the problem with the flesh, man. When you like this is where you end up. Read.
Hell and destruction are never full.
Why? Because covetous niggas is always around. Relying on vain things like women, like alcohol, like knowledge, like, oh, I did this work. Covetous niggas, man, always relying on the wrong thing. Vain men are always going to be around. Go ahead.
So the eyes of man are never satisfied.
Right. Because the eye of man is never satisfied with his labor, with getting knowledge, with how many women he got, with how much he can drink. Now, where should a man's joy reside? Where should you be happy at? Where should a man's happy place be? See if y'all get this right.
The law of the Lord.
Con, pertaining to what we just hit on about being satisfied. Where should a man's joy be? Abadiah.
In doing the work.
Right? Both right answers. Remember, pertaining to the block of scriptures we just hit about being satisfied, what should you be happy about?
Your own work and not covetous.
Go
Someone
to,
else's.
go to 1 Corinthians 6:12. This is where you should be joyful. This is what you should take pride in. Every man should take pride in this if this is where they're at. Read.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12.
Read.
All things are lawful unto me.
Because all the things we just talked about are lawful, right?
God.
Wine, women, knowledge, work, riches. They're all lawful. Read.
But all things are not expedient.
Read.
All things are lawful for me.
Here go Paul saying it again. They're lawful, bruh. But where could Paul glory at? And where should we be able to glory? Read.
But I will not be brought under the power of any.
That's where the joy should be at, knowing that there's no attachment to the flesh. There's no attachment to these things to make myself vain. Remember, he said there's many things that increase vanity. Why is man the less? Well, how do I decrease vanity? I don't rely on these things. Y'all get it?
God.
Philippians 3 and verse 8. Philippians 3 and verse 8. Damn, I actually got through this. Wow.
Philippians chapter 3, verse 8.
Right?
Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahweh
You
Shai.
see that? He said, yea, doubtless. I count all things lawful. Because all the things he counted were lawful. All the things he was talking about was what we just talked about. Riches, wine. You never heard about Paul getting drunk, going to Caesarea, or on the way to Tarshish, or on the way to Macedonia. He got faded on the boat. Like when he shipwrecked, did he get faded and wrecked the boat? He was faded on the boat by himself. He was lonely. He didn't have no woman, so he got the bottle. He started hitting the bottle. And he shipwrecked. And that's how, or he got thrown up in jail because he was a public nuisance. Nah. He said, I count all these things. He said, there's no doubt about it. Why did he have to count things a loss? Well, he said it earlier, because he didn't want to be brought under the power. None of these things could have an attachment to him that was so great, where now they held a power over him. Women, wine, money. Remember, Paul gave the blueprint on how to pick a bishop. He couldn't be he couldn't be covetous, and he couldn't do it for filthy lucre's sake. So if he gave the blueprint, he had to follow it. He couldn't be a striker. He couldn't be given to wine. He couldn't be a brawler. All these stipulations in Timothy's the 3rd chapter that Paul designated men under, he had to live to those stipulations. So he had to count all things as a loss. Like, you know what, bro? If I ain't got it, I ain't got it.
Count.
Wine, women, toothbrush, whatever. Whatever it was, bro. Why? Because what was more important? Read.
For whom I have suffered the loss of all things.
Read it from the top.
Verse 8, Philippians chapter 3, verse 8. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahweh Shai, my Lord.
Right?
For whom I have suffered the loss of all things.
Because that's what it was about. It was about understanding that these vain things that were counted as nothing. Not saying that women are nothing. I put y'all in there for a reason. It was a certain type of woman. But these things that were counted as vanities, they were also counted as vexations of your spirit, because they did vex you. Because you weren't able to, if you had wisdom, you weren't able to enjoy these the way regular men with no wisdom enjoyed wine and women. A man with no wisdom enjoys his woman how? Well, she leads him around. He becomes slave to her. The drunkard, the man that got riches and that he relies on that. The man that got so much knowledge he's puffed up and floating away.
Okay.
Because there's no wisdom to ground them and show them that those things are only brought through by wisdom. Wisdom comes from wisdom. Think about it. Think about it. Wisdom only comes from wisdom. The proper use of wisdom, you got to have some know-how. You got to have some balance to say, you know what, let me not be overwise. Let me not be over this. Let me not be over that. Let me not scrutinize too much. That's wisdom, though. You got to have wisdom to use wisdom, or else it's not wisdom. You got to have wisdom to have women. You got to have wisdom to drink. You got to have wisdom to have riches. Why did Solomon pray for wisdom and not drink? Wisdom and not women. Wisdom and not riches. Wisdom and not the temple. He could have just been like, Yahweh, give me the temple and give me a house. He knew that wisdom was going to bring all these things. But not just wisdom, something else. Finish that up. Go to Ecclesiastes 12:13.
And do count them but done.
Right? All things are counted as shit in Paul's eyes. This is the way they should be counted in our eyes, though. They really should be. You know why? Because, as we just went over, man, that woman that you sitting there putting all your chips into and forsaking things for, guess what? When she's ready to flip it, just a notch, bro, she'll forsake you for the next man. We read it, right?
Aye.
A woman will receive every man. She'll flip the script on you, and out of nowhere you'll be like, but see, we were warned. Marvel not if she trespass against thee, because it's bound to happen. Why set your eyes on things on riches that fly away into the heavens?
Come.
So when you want to rely on those, don't be surprised when the Most High brings you to a low estate. And all the other things that we talked about. You got to look at the things that you're doing and the things around you and say, you know what? I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to do this, regardless of if these things are here or not. Read.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13.
Read.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
So what was Solomon's whole conclusion of women, wine, works, life? He said, I hated life, man. Bro, that blew my mind. The wisest man on this earth hated life.
Want to add everything.
He had everything that a man could want in life, and he hated his. Or he didn't really hate his, but he made that statement. And obviously there was things that followed because of that statement. But what was the conclusion of the matter?
It's all vanity.
Huh?
It's all vanity.
The conclusion of the matter is that it was all vain, and that without wisdom, these things didn't matter. Without the fear of the Lord and without doing his will, it didn't matter what woman you had or how much money you had. It didn't matter what woman you didn't have and how much money you didn't have. It didn't matter how much work you put in. If it wasn't according to the will of the Most High, it didn't matter. It didn't matter if you was king supreme. If you weren't working to the will of the Most High, you were vain. If you were the lowest thing on the totem pole, you were vain. If it didn't go according to the will of the Father, it didn't matter. This is the conclusion. Read.
Fear the Most High.
Go ahead.
And keep his commandments.
That was it. When it was all said and done, it was about the respect and honor of the Most High. And that was going to lead you to keep the commandments anyway. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love the Most High with all your heart. And everything else was coupled into that. You're going to wear your fringes. You're going to keep your beard. You're going to eat the right foods. But the first and foremost thing was the fear of the Most High, the respect and the reverence. Why do you think he said it? Wisdom of Solomon 13:1. All men are vain by nature and are ignorant of the Most High. So he was saying, listen, here, don't be ignorant of God and all the good works that he's done for you. Remember all that he's done. Remember that he wakes you up. He lets you sleep. He gives you rest. He gives you vanity. He gives you vain things. To what? Why does the Most High give us vain things? He gives us vain things to appease the...
I was going to say to satisfy our flesh because he knows we're carnal. But we have to just remember not to make that more important than the Most High.
Right. All things are lawful, but I will not be brought under the power of any. He gives us carnality as comforts. He gives us the carnal things to comfort us. What man don't want a woman? He said it. He said, live joyfully with the wife of thy bosom.
Come on.
All your years. Why would he say that and then like a woman is wrong? Well, that woman was supposed to be that comfort. Mm-hmm. Wine drinking in moderation, it gives you comfort. Give drink to him that is ready to perish. Why? It was going to bring comfort. Send him to work that is idle. Why? It was going to keep you out of torment. Send him to labor. Go do something productive. See, all these things, when you look at it, they're not vain. We make them vain with the way we interpret and look at the work. Again, what's the point? Y'all ain't listening anyway. Mm-hmm. Not y'all. But that could be the thought, right? Y'all ain't listening anyway. What's the point? Why am I up here? Y'all ain't listening. It's vain. But the word don't go out void. Proverbs 19:23. Finish up that Ecclesiastes.
For this is the whole duty of men.
Right, because this is our duty. Proverbs 19:23. Psalms 34 and 9. Psalms 34.
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 23.
Go ahead.
The fear of the Most High tendeth to life.
Right.
And he that hate, Salakia, and he that hath, it shall abide satisfied.
You see that? He said, fear the Most High. You want to be satisfied with the things you have? Godliness with contentment is great gain. The fear of the Most High does what? Read it again. And he that hath it shall abide satisfied. Read.
The fear of the Most High tendeth to life.
Right.
And he that hath it shall abide satisfied.
Read.
He shall not be visited with evil.
This is what he was trying to steer us away from. Evil, man. Go to Psalms 34:9. And then Psalms 5 and verse 11.
Psalms chapter 34, verse 9.
Fear the Most High and keep the commandments. Read.
Oh, fear the Lord,
Read.
ye his saints.
Read.
For there is no want to them that fear him.
You see that? Because the joy now resides in the spirit. And all the things that you have around you in the carnal, you understand that they're temporal. That they come and that they go. She gonna come, she gonna go. The whip gonna break down and you gonna get a new one. The house gonna get not paid and you gonna get a new one. The shoes gonna wear down and you gonna get a new pair. All the carnal things are temporal. Read.
Verse 10. The young lions do lack
Read.
and suffer hunger.
Right?
But they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing.
Right. You're gonna have everything already. Read on.
Come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord.
Psalms 5 and verse 11.
Psalm chapter 5 and verse 11.
Read.
But let all those that put their trust in thee
Come on.
rejoice.
Read.
Let them ever shout for joy.
Read.
Because thou defendest them.
Because thou what?
Defendest them.
Read.
Let them also that love thy name be joyful in thee.
Right. Any questions on that? That's it.
Wow. Mic drop.
You said what?
I said mic drop.
You said what? Oh,
Mic-
mic drop?
mic drop.
No, I can't mic drop. Ah, man. Mm-hmm. Any questions online?
Wow.
I mean, hey. I hope y'all got something out of that. I hope y'all got something out of that.
Meaty. Meaty.
The weariness of the flesh. But yeah. I mean, we ended early. I didn't know we was gonna end this early. I thought I was gonna go over. But y'all did the reading good. So, I mean, if there's no questions online and no questions in class, we'll end it there. Hopefully, everybody online got a little something. I mean, we didn't have that many people, but the ones that did watch, hopefully y'all stood in there and understood what was being brought. Yeah. I liked it.
I like it
Okay.
a lot.
I liked it. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
You know, it's
what's that?
all the different points that you brought out. You know, the joy, the wine, the money, the women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it all serves a purpose.
Yeah.
But it's also vanity when your hope and your trust is in these things.
Yep. Yeah. That's the point. That
Yeah.
they're there for a purpose. The Most High gave us these things, but we can't put our trust in these things, man, because they'll fly away like a little birdie. All right. All right. Well, if that's it, we will be back here Wednesday, 7 to 10. We're gonna end class on that. So with that, let's say shalom, and we'll see y'all back on Wednesday.
Shalom.